Hmm hmm. Hmm hmm hmm. So this is it. We're back. Hooray. First of all, welcome back to everyone watching this right now over on YouTube. It's a little bit early to say welcome to those over here on Twitch because I just started, and as per usual, it will take a moment for people to start coming in. But we're back with some more DDLC. We've reached Act 2 of our Sayori route, and I think we're all curious to see where the story will go from here. So, I probably shouldn't make you wait too long, and instead, just jump right into it, I guess. So, as the sound of my alarm makes its unwelcome presence in my bedroom, can't help but wonder, do I even need an education? Could totally become a video game streamer. I suddenly feel called out. I suppose every person who ever streamed this game feels called out by this. But wow. Let me tell you, that's not something you can just proclaim. Sure, you can do it as a hobby, but doing it as a job, that's a different story. Reluctantly, I sit up and stretch. God, I was hoping you will stream. Well, I am streaming, so you got lucky, I guess. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a couple of days since I streamed. Don't really know why. I had way more interesting. Well, I'm glad it turned your night more interesting. I am very glad that's the case. Honestly, like I was really looking forward to streaming today because it's been a couple of days, and well, I really wanted to make some more progress on DDLC, especially um, especially because I already have a new idea for another poem. Any criticism about your poem? Um, the one you posted on the comment section on the recent video, right? Over on YouTube. I've read it, and as I've said, I'm no expert when it comes to poems. I've only recently started writing them myself, so any feedback I give is purely, well, my personal opinion, and that's it. But as I've said, from what I think it's pretty good, especially because you're still in the early stages of writing. Um, what else to say? I probably should pull up that poem so I can actually give some better feedback on it, because just talking about it without actually being able to see the poem is probably not gonna help me at all. So give me a second while I start to pull up that poem. Um, go into there it is. There. Future is what you called it. Now I don't have it. There we go. Now I won't be able to pull it up on screen as easily because I would need to set up for recording that window. But so let me just reread it again just to make sure. Future is mystery full of misery. People and children die, while others chill, others will kill. Age of space is real, and we will die, just like space and time. So enjoy everything for now. Okay, what I can see is definitely as expected for a lot of poems, there's a lot of rhymes in there, which certainly help give the poem a little bit of a better flow. I've noticed that whenever I tried writing a poem without any rhymes, it just doesn't flow as nicely. So I can definitely see that the use of rhymes really helped this poem out a lot. Um, Overall, what else can I say? I've already said that I really like the way you captured the darker tones of it, while also talking about the uncertainty of the future and like the end of existence itself. I've already stated as much. Like again, as I've said, I'm no poem critic or poet, so if there's anything I would like to point out is it's just that this one line, Age of Space is real. That's the only line I can't quite make my mind up on. Like that's like the only line that kind of sticks out to me as like, okay, what is its particular significance for this? But other than that, I think the whole poem flows very nicely. And the topic, again, as someone who often writes about darker topics myself, I can definitely get behind that topic. But if you want actual, more in depth feedback, you should probably ask someone who has a little bit more experience with this. So, again, sorry for not being exactly the best person to ask for this kind of stuff. That every poem I make just click inside of me and I start writing. That's usually how I do it too. Like that's usually how it works best for me, because when you just write the kind of stuff you currently have in your head, then you can usually get a nice flow down on. I was gonna say down on paper, but it's not really on paper. Um, there are a few exceptions, of course. Sometimes I try going with a little bit of a different style, in which case I usually have to think about some parts a lot longer to make them fit. Um, it hits you, suddenly makes you think harder. Mm-hmm. Um, anyway, one poem where I actually did mainly form write it was there was this one poem by Yuri at some point, and since I frankly have no idea how to best write poems without going for rhyme schemes, I just took one of Yuri's poems, looked how it was written when it comes to the structure of it, and just copied the structure of Yuri's poem, but gave it. So I wrote my poem, completely different topic, of course, and different text, but I gave it the exact same structure as one of Yuri's poems, just so I would have some way to figure out how to structure a poem if I wasn't going for rhymes. And yeah, I don't know. I still think it's better to just go with the flow, and that usually involves rhyming a lot. Again, that's just mainly my opinion. Uh, so there you go. That's all I can say on that topic. Maybe I'll get a little bit better eventually. Who knows? All right. So reluctantly, I sit up and stretch. I just hope I don't into any of those pricks who ruined our festival. Beginners, okay. To kind of do something like that, but who am I to criticize? Yeah, I mean, we're all just beginners here. None of us do anything like that, like writing poems professionally. I think. Now there's gonna be a big reveal that apparently someone it's gonna turn out that someone in my community is actually a poet, a professional poet. Ooh, I'd be surprised if that was the case. I don't think so. Not to mention, I hope they aren't giving any of the club members any flack, especially Sayori. At least Sakurai is cool. Surprisingly, Sayori's already there by the time I arrive. Good morning! Give her a mockingly suspicious look. You know, for someone who sleeps in a lot, you sure are chipper in the mornings. Hey! Am I not allowed to be happy? Of course you are, Sayori. Ready for another super exciting and totally not boring day at school? Ready as I'll ever be. How about you? Could be worse, I guess. I'm enjoying history a lot, actually. Sakurai is a really good teacher. Oh yeah, I remember you saying. We're pretty lucky to have him, aren't we? Definitely. I didn't think anyone could top Makoto last year, but Sakurai has somehow managed to pull it off. I guess it helps that history is a decent subject. I guess everyone has their preferences, but History... Yeah... History is mainly just a lot of memorization. I mean, sure, some people have their strong suits, but actually a lot of subjects are just memorization. That's one thing that's horrible about school. It's just that a lot of school education just involves flat out memorization of the exact topic and then putting it back down on paper. Unlike math. Math is an exception because they actually need you to apply that stuff all the time. But other than that, most subjects are just flat out memorization. Well, I guess in any language you learn is also... There are exceptions, okay? There are exceptions, but most of it, memorizing it and putting it back down on paper. Like you can just... I don't know. That's probably why so many people, including myself, never really enjoyed school all that much.
I've always preferred those kinds of subjects myself too.
What do you mean?
You know, Japanese, history, anything that isn't math or physics.
Still much of a science kind of girl, eh?
Nope.
Didn't think so. You're always better than me when it came to the more creative subjects, though. Looking back, when we helped each other out for homework, I guess we covered each other's weaknesses, huh?
We sure did. I remember we used to doodle on each other's work too. You even handed in that science homework once, and you didn't even realize I drew a bunch of small animals all over it.
Sayori laughs just as school looms in sight. Her giggles, coupled with the sudden remembrance of that silly memory, causes a warm feeling to wash over me. I had totally forgotten about that. My science teacher, on the other hand, well, let's just say he didn't expect a bunch of cats, rabbits and dogs to be on that worksheet. Well, we were learning about evolution, so I guess you drawing all those animals was fitting, right?
Of course! It totally wasn't me just getting my revenge from you pulling that planets prank.
What? Oh, that was something I'll never forget. What prank? Oh! You mean the Uranus joke? The fact that Sayori can't help but giggle when she hears the name is testimony to how she's truly a child at heart. Come on, the Uranus jokes are getting very old. You know, I think you might be the first one who I really enjoy to... now you're over-exaggerating. You really are. There's no way I'm the first person you really enjoy watching. That has to be a lie, right? I mean... I get it. I get it's also supposed to be kind of a compliment, but I think that's going a little far, don't you think? Because I can't believe that I would really be the first one. There has to have been at least, like, a couple of others. Nah? Well, I guess I'm gonna have to take your word for that then. Because I don't have any way to prove you wrong, so... I'm just gonna have to take what you said at face value and assume that you actually mean that I'm pretty much the first streamer you actually enjoy watching this much. And... well, that just puts pressure on me to stream a bit more often now, doesn't it? Although I have to admit my schedule is gonna become a little bit more busy, so I probably will be streaming... well, I definitely won't be streaming any more frequently than I was before. But I can't really say if I'm gonna be streaming less or the same amount. The thing is, right now, as I've said, my schedule is becoming a little bit busier. Plus, I am currently actively watching 4 anime series. And, well, that's not really taking up too much time, is it? Watching 4 anime episodes per week, that's like nothing. Compared to how quickly I can marathon through shows usually. So that's not an excuse. But other than that, I really do mean it that my schedule is becoming a bit busy. But don't worry, that doesn't mean I will stop streaming. Nuh-uh, not at all. I will keep doing this no matter what. So, we were talking about Uranus jokes, right?
Yes.
I grin at her, although she initially tries to pout. She can never hold an angry face, even when she's joking. Back when we were first learning about the solar system, I heard about what was so funny about Uranus from a classmate of mine. Sayori, being blissfully ignorant at the time, asked me what was so funny about the planet's name. Told her to ask her mother how Uranus was looking, and she actually did. Distinctly, I remember being in utter hysterics when her mother was both parts confused and stern with her daughter for apparently asking such a rude question. Definitely one of my little personal victories. Yeah. What was that? Scientists are now trying to probe deeper into Uranus. You know, those kinds of basic jokes. I mean, come on, but seriously, why did they name that planet Uranus? It's just... like, seriously, it's just like they... It's like they were intending for there to be puns. Well, it's definitely... Just to say that it's definitely not my parents' fault, but the opposite, they were always kind of... At least my mother was always very supportive of me. So it's... But... Well... Definitely when... when I was younger, I was more used to compliments. I was also a little bit more of a social butterfly back then than I am now. But... I don't know what actually happened. I mean, it's not like they ever really stopped. Huh. I guess... they are more worried about making me stop insulting myself than they are about actually complimenting me. So, whereas before I was constantly just getting compliments from them, nowadays it's just like them making sure I stop insulting myself. So they don't have as much time for outright compliments, I guess. It's not like they stopped giving me compliments, though. I'm definitely... That's not the case. It's just me constantly insulting myself has definitely brought down the mood a little bit. So there's that little tidbit of information. You also were a social butterfly and had many friends. So let me I'm gonna guess you kind of went through something similar as what I did. That it's not like you really actively stopped being friends. It's just like you drifted apart and didn't really talk to each other after a while. Because that's what happened with most of my friends. Like back in elementary school, after graduating, I didn't really see any of my most of my friends from back then again. And then I moved out of my old neighborhood and didn't really see any of my friends from the neighborhood again. So yeah, it's just kind of drifting apart because you're no longer like in direct contact all the time. So actually trying to meet up becomes a lot more tedious, and after a while so it becomes more and more rare over time, and then that's that. Just made groups without me and a band. Alright, that's... Well, that's actually far worse than what I did. For me it was just like naturally drifting apart, but for you they just actively made groups and just didn't hang out with you anymore without any reason, and that's just mean. I honestly hope... well then again, if they really did that to you, they didn't deserve you as a friend. Like, you deserve better than that. Now I say that, but that's just like something most people would say, I guess. So it's not... But you honestly do deserve better than that. No one deserves friends who just abandoned you out of nowhere. That's just mean. I'm glad actually, because friends with my friends from... Oh, those friends are usually very... those friendships are usually built to last. From all the way back then. Actually, yeah, that's one of my... I think it's the only close friend that I still have from back in the day. But yeah, actually, one of my friends, I've known him since kindergarten. So since preschool, I've already known him. Then we went to elementary school together. And then after elementary school, we went to different schools. But that hasn't stopped me from hanging out with him. And yeah, we're still friends to this day. That's like the only friend from back then that I still have. All the others I just kind of started drifting apart from. And that's that. Actually, yeah, that's basically how I lost all my friends. There was like not really any friend who I actively stopped being friends with because either one of us didn't want to be friends with anymore or anything like that. Except for maybe one. I think there's like one who actually kind of... who got actively pushed out of my friend circle. And I'm still kind of mad. I mean, it wasn't that big of a deal, but... that dude was just... I don't know. I feel like he didn't even acknowledge my existence at some point anymore. Especially because... you know when you're younger and you invite people to your birthday party and it means like a whole lot to you when you, to get to hang out with your friends. And then I invited him and he said he'd definitely come. And then he didn't show up and I asked him again if he was gonna come. And then on the day he just didn't reply anymore. And I never heard from him since. Now let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he just died. And that's why he wasn't able to come. Maybe. But in that case, you would have you'd think I would have heard from his family. But that's the only person who I kind of actively stopped being friends with after he just agreed to invites and never came and just kind of pretty much cancelled all interactions with me. Other than that, it was mainly just drifting apart. Come on, you have to admit, we got each other good. Anyway, I'll catch you at lunchtime. See ya.
Bye.
As I make my way over to my classroom, the typical school scene greets me. Students of varying ages making their way to wherever they need to be. No doubt bracing themselves for the drag that is Monday morning. The sounds of chattering and laughter fill the atmosphere as I spot a few familiar faces. Occasionally, a teacher admonishes a laggy student, no doubt reminding them to not be late for homeroom. Outside my classroom, I peer through the window. There's a few of my classmates there already. Sakura himself looks like he's only just arrived. Code. Good morning. How was your weekend? Morning, sir. Not bad, not bad. Haven't woken up so early on a Saturday for a while, so I figured I'd make the most of it. Would you believe me if I told you I spent it enjoying the outdoors and getting homework done? There's a mischievous twinkle in Sakurai's eye as he answers. Why, Code, of course I would. After all, given your impeccable history with handing in homework on time, I would be hard-pressed not to. On the topic of handing homework in time, one of my classmates noticeably fidgets. I'm willing to bet he hasn't done last week's assignment. Granted, there may have been 1 or 2 times where I was guilty of the very same thing. At least Sakurai is fairly relaxed about missing the odd deadline. I check the clock hanging on the wall. It's almost time to start, and a few last-minute stragglers hurriedly make their way in. What mod? Doki Doki Blue Skies. Haven't played any different mod on this channel before, but maybe will in the future. So yeah, Doki Doki Blue Skies, first DDLC mod I'm playing, and currently the only one still. Don't know when I'll be playing another mod, but we'll find out when that time comes. Anyway, yeah, welcome back. First of all, I should have said that probably as well. Welcome back. Nice to see you again. Most people are here at this point. Sakurai is sitting by his desk, a pen between his fingers and a thoughtful look on his face. Emmy hurriedly makes her way past the door and into the seat next to me. Too bored of that mod? I don't know why. Well... Feel free to listen if you want. But if you're bored of that mod, I mean, if you don't know why, then I wouldn't know. Maybe because nothing too interesting is going on right now. It's basically just your average, everyday dating sim, if I had to describe it. So I can see how that might not be interesting for everyone. Whereas the original game was psychological horror, that definitely had some more intriguing moments. I guess that's the best guess I can come up with right now. Kind of ironic how she's on the track team, yet still the last one in, which Sakurai picks up on. Ah, Emmy. He leans back in his chair as Emmy looks up at him with as innocent as a face as she can muster. Jesus Christ, this was the one character who appears even less than Sayori, and wow. Now I need to remember what voice I gave her. I think it was just even higher pitched Sayori, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
Like that, I think. How is it that a member of the school's track team is the slowest one to arrive? Light chuckles fill the room. Sakurai's banter with the students is always amusing to witness.
Well, I'm not technically late, am I?
And there's Sayori, speak of the devil. So you know what this means, it's voice time. Alright, think of something new. Think of something new.
She does have a point, sir.
There. That's the one I'm doing for today, I guess.
See, even the class rep is on my side.
Come on, Sayori, what happened to respecting authority?
I'm not the one who makes the rules, sir.
As if on cue, the bell rings a moment after Emmy slips into her seat. Cutting it very close. Now that everyone is here, let's get started. Now believe me when I say that the First World War is one of the most interesting things you'll ever study in school. Although your science teachers may beg to differ. So, a conflict involving nations from all across the world, continent to continent. With soldiers as well as civilians involved in the fighting, it truly changed the geopolitical climate for many of the combatants involved. As he talks, his trademark enthusiasm shines through. It's almost like he was born to be a teacher. Now, can anyone tell me what year it started? Bonus points if you can explain how it began. The best teacher, absolutely. I think everyone would like a teacher like Sakurai. A teacher who actually shows enthusiasm for the subject he's teaching and who can actually cut the students some slack because he knows what they're going through because he's been through it. Why can't more teachers be like this? This goes out to all teachers. Be more like Sakurai. And before anyone asks, no bonus points does not mean exemption from homework for a week. Can't help but smile to myself after hearing the mixture of groans and laughs from the class. Maybe Monday morning won't be so boring after all. The rest of the lesson passes by fairly quickly, and before I know it, it's lunchtime.
You're looking a bit livelier.
I mean, wouldn't work for me. I mean, fair. Fair. But still. Sakurai is just an amazing teacher. But... yeah, Poland. Well, as I've stated before multiple times by now, I'm from Germany, so it's not like it's not like everyone knows English here either. But I mean, come on, still. My point still stands. We need more teachers like Sakurai. Which language you speak doesn't change that. Doesn't change that fact. Mushrooms. Oh, you're asking the serious questions here. This is indeed very complicated. How many forms can a word have? Now that's... So, first of all, you know how in Germany everything is pointlessly gendered. I am not sure how it is in Poland, but for us, first of all, every word has some sort of gender, male, female, or neutral, and that's annoying. And naturally, that means that any verb coupled with any other word also needs to then adapt the same gender as the word it's referring to. Also, you need to conjugate all those genders normally, like, you know, with past, present, future. Is someone doing it, or is it being done to the thing in question? Even more than 50, alright then. Well, I guess... Well... You know, I was always wondering if Polish would be an interesting language to maybe delve into, but now I'm scared. Yeah, that more than 50 forms for any given word, or at least a lot of words, I guess. That's that seems like a little bit too much of a challenge for me right now. So I'm gonna probably have to pass on that. But Jesus, that is quite a lot of forms. Kruva? Kruka? I'm sorry, I probably butchered that word. So it's pronounced like a U, if I can believe you. So Kruka? Something like that. I probably horribly butchered that pronunciation, but what did I even just say? Right, alright. ZW. So the W is pronounced differently, I guess, as well. But I got close, okay, but I got close. What did I even just say? I don't even know what the word I just tried saying even means. I hope you didn't make me say something really offensive. Cow. I mean, I guess it could be an insult as well. But hey, I learned a new word today. Do you know Russian? No. I'm sorry, I don't. I am definitely no expert when it comes to... I mean, I do know a bit of Japanese, but that's about as far as my knowledge goes. So English, German, and a bit of Japanese. But I wouldn't call myself really that knowledgeable when it comes to it. Sakurai has that effect on us. Also learning about the First World War, which is pretty interesting.
You're right, it is. Although it's so sad thinking about all those soldiers who died. In such horrible ways, too.
For sure, they were hoping it would be a war to end all wars. Yet 20 years later, they were at it again. Anyway, how was your morning? What subject did you have?
Physics. In the morning. God, that's unfair. We should have a subject I enjoy on Monday morning.
Sleeping isn't a subject, though.
Hey! I like Japanese too, you know. Japanese, history, even stuff like English. The subjects where I can express myself a bit more.
You know, given how you're in a literature club, it all makes sense now. As in, I see why you prefer subjects like Japanese. Give me 1 second real quick, I need to check something. There. Just a second. Didn't take too long now, did it? Alright, Polish and Russian, some words sound the same. Like means soda can, but in Russian means cannon. Well, but that always happens. Like that some words sound very similar or almost identical in other languages, and they mean something entirely different. It happens. It happens. Let me just think if I can think of any examples. You know, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but if I do come up with something, I'll say it. More creative subjects, where you can write stories, poems, that sort of thing.
Yeah! Plus, I don't think I'll ever need to work out the area of a triangle in real life.
Give me a cannon of Coke. That would be... well, that's what they would understand. I can see that leading to a bunch of happy little misunderstandings, happy little accidents.
Well, I really hope not. Whereas stuff that we learn about in Japanese helps with writing poems. Although I don't think the teacher was happy when she found me trying to write a poem in her class. But it's not my fault, right?
She looks at me with puppy dog eyes, and in that moment it hits me just how adorable Sayori can be. Those big blue eyes, it's impossible to say no to her, and... Wait a minute, where's this coming from? Huh? Yeah, no, definitely not your fault. Anyway, what's that you've got? I motion to the food in front of her. It's fairly obvious that she's eating, but I need a quick change of topic to cover whatever it was that just came over me.
Eh?
I can slide to the shop. Oh no, brought a cannon. Yeah. I mean, honestly though, if you can buy a cannon. I mean, I guess it depends on the size of the cannon, but probably get some nice stuff. Oh god, I wonder how many misunderstandings there have been. There have been any major misunderstandings throughout history where just like mistranslation got in the way because of words sounding similar in different languages. I'm kind of curious if that has ever happened to a bigger degree before.
You mean this? It's a cinnamon bun. We're really delicious, hmm?
Sorry, I couldn't get a word of that. On the best hiding spot. Well, that's an abrupt change of topic, but yes, if you found the best hiding spot, you haven't found the best hiding spot because you found it. And if you have found it, it's clearly not the best hiding spot because it's possible to find it. That's absolutely horrible because that means that no matter what you do, you will never be able to find the world's best hiding spot. You'll never be able to. Because the moment you find it, what can you do? That hiding spot's been found now, so it's possible to find it and it's no longer a good hiding spot. It's horrible. Absolutely horrible. But I'm guessing you're enjoying it. She loudly gulps down the sugary delight.
Sorry. Yeah, it's so yummy. Do you want to eat some?
Can't hurt. As she tears off a piece and... blah, 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 blah. As she tears off a piece and reaches forward, I'm struck by how soft and warm her hands are. It's only a brief moment of contact, but it's enough to give me that weird, warm feeling within. Teleport randomly inside of it, and you don't know where it is. It's the best hiding spot. I mean, I guess, but in that case you haven't really found it. You've just been sent there randomly. But I guess the question is, would you ever be able to get out? I mean, that doesn't really matter concerning the fact of whether or not it's a good hiding spot, but eventually you'd need to get out. Because otherwise you'd probably die by dehydration or starvation. Unless, of course, food and water gets teleported in all the time as well. In that case, you could survive in there indefinitely. I mean, if you randomly got teleported in, what's stopping food and water from being teleported in there as well? Started playing OSU? Please elaborate. It's a good game. Like, I'm guessing OSU is an abbreviation for the full title, or is it the full title? Because right now it doesn't ring any bells. It's probably gonna be fairly obvious once I hear it. Actually, I could probably just... no. I mean, I'd consider playing it, but my list of games to play currently is fairly long. Plus, I also need to get my hands on Slender the Arrival sooner or later, because I've promised to play it, and I am not a guy to go back on my promises. I promised to play it because I've, you know, passed the 50 follower milestone. I'm gonna search it, hang on, just give me 1 second. If that's what you want me to do, I'll do it. It's a rhythm game? Oh, I think I've seen it before. I think I've seen that before. Yeah, I think I've seen a little bit of it before. I've never really gotten too deep into it, but it looks interesting. I mean, I've played my fair share of rhythm games before, so it's not like I'm completely unfamiliar with the topic. It's really good. I mean, it's free from what I saw on that download page, so that certainly helps bring it up in my rating a bit. Other rhythm games I've played before, well... I mean, I play Mustache every once in a while, so that's where I get a lot of my rhythm game stuff from. And I guess Just Shapes and Beats also counts as a rhythm game, even though it's primarily a bullet hell game. It's still rhythm based, so I'm counting that. And then, of course, there's Power Beats VR and Beat Saber. Another two interesting rhythm games. And I think that's pretty much all the rhythm games I play. So it's not like, as I've said, not like I'm unfamiliar with the genre, but that certainly looks like, definitely looks like a different kind of rhythm game again. Who knows, I might give it a try at some point. Maybe not on stream, but maybe in my own time. Snap out of it. I pop it into my mouth and savor the sweet taste filling my taste buds. Mmm. Remind me to get some of my own.
I'm planning on tactically snacking on these during class this afternoon. That's one way of getting me through a boring school day.
Well, if it works, it works. Just like that, the alarm rings, signifying the end of the lunch break. Back to it, I guess. Waving goodbye to Sayori, we make our respective ways back to our classrooms. Well. Also, I'm guessing someone has probably left by now, considering I haven't seen him pop up in chat for a while. Which is sad, considering he said he was looking forward to today's stream. Maybe he disconnected. Or maybe he's just lurking, maybe he just didn't have anything to say. No Monica route? Yeah, I know. But I think we can at least spend the weekend with her, can't we? Because during the choice of who to hang out with, Monica is an option, and who knows, maybe we can actually pick her. I'm definitely gonna try that out once I'm done, and then we'll see whether or not it's possible to hang out with Monica. To at least get some time with her. Another day, another lesson. Thankfully, it's a Friday, meaning the tempting allure of the weekend beckons. Just one more day to sit through. As Sakura explains the origins of the war, my mind can't help but drift away. Who was it who decided we should have 5 working days, but only 2 days off? Man, that seems mighty unfair if you ask me. 4-day week and 3-day weekend sounds so much better, absolutely. I'm guessing that you sent that emoji because you're looking forward to checking out Monica and seeing if she has some stuff to hang out with. I'm guessing that's what you mean, because that looks a little bit intimidating. I know Sayori would definitely agree. Too late? Well, NPC too loud? Oh. Well, I guess that's just nothing you can really do anything about right now. Like, upgrading your PC for it to be a little bit more quiet definitely isn't necessarily a cheap endeavor, so there's that. And, well, about the time, you can't change time. You can't just suddenly speed up time so it's day, and I don't plan on changing my schedule anytime soon. Check it out tomorrow. Sure. Sure. Thank you for coming by anyway. By the way, you have no obligation to check it out since you said you aren't too interested in this mod. But if you want to check it out, feel free. I appreciate that. Well, I guess I'll see you around. I know Sayori would definitely agree. Probably not Monica though, given how hard she works. Speaking of Sayori, I wonder what she's up to. I've noticed that she's been on my mind a little more than usual. Even when I was at home just playing video games in an effort to procrastinate on my homework. Knowing her, she's probably doodling instead of paying attention. I mean, I thought that's what you meant by checking it out tomorrow, like leaving and checking out the archive of the stream tomorrow. What were you referring to in that case? I guess I misinterpreted your comment in that case. What were you referring to? Just so I'm in the loop here. Time with Monica. Ah, right. You'll try? I guess. Well, I'm gonna try too eventually, but that'll get sorted out when the time comes. Then again, I'm daydreaming myself. I guess shorter attention spans are something we both suffer from. It's a little on the warm side in here anyway. And Sakura wouldn't mind too much if I spaced out, right? Spending more time with Sayori recently has made me think. Oh, the dad voice. What voice should I give the dad? Hey, Code. No, that's like an old man. Hey, Code. No. This game, but there's not the files are saved. It's locked, encrypted version. So you wanna... You won't... Okay. So you want to make one, but it's too encrypted. Well... I guess that's kind of sad then, that the game is too well too difficult to mod. For you at least. Or, well, you maybe could do it, but it sounds like a lot of work. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of sad that that's the case, but they probably have their reasons for encrypting it, but I don't know. It still doesn't change the fact that it would be nice if games who are easier to... When game developers actively try to make their games easy to mod, that's usually like something you really have to appreciate. Or maybe some even give you an editor at some point. That's like very nice. Yeah. Probably won't decrypt. Well, I mean, a lot of people have created mods despite the complications, but it doesn't look like it's too easy of a thing to do, apparently, from what you're telling me. Now where was I? I was trying to get the data voice, right. Don't run off too far ahead. Mod to mod. Sorry, Dad, I just want to play. Such a ball of energy, aren't you? Don't worry, your dad and I will keep an eye on you. Oh, and here's some money. But not blue skies. Yeah. So you could mod Doki Doki, but you couldn't mod blue skies. So you can't mod or mod. Fair. Fair. I mean, I guess that's understandable. I don't know why the mod creators would try to encrypt it then, but again, they might have some sort of reason. Maybe they were just trying to hide secrets and don't want people to have as easy access to the game files. Then again, what sort of secrets would there be in this mod? Who knows, maybe we'll find out. Maybe there is a secret ending or something. Buy something from the ice cream truck. Would you like us to come with you? No, it's okay. I'm a big boy now, remember? Of course, darling. How could we ever forget? Dad grins as he reaches out to affectionately ruffle my hair. Of course you are, son. Now go out there and have fun. I barely hear him as I take off, bound towards the ice cream truck. As I'm lining up, my mind runs crazy at the thought of all the different flavors and choices. Chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, mint. It's great. The line shuffles forward and I dig into my pockets to bring out the money. They've given me more than I need for the ice cream. Awesome! That means I can get more than one. I quickly look around me, trying to spot my parents. They're sitting on a bench chatting away. They won't notice. Oh yeah, this is the best day ever. Huh? Who's this? Standing to the left of me is a young girl. She's looking sadly at the ice cream truck in front of me. Why is she looking sad, though? All the other kids are happy. You should be happy, there's ice cream right here. Hey! The girl jumps a little. Sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. She turns to look at me, giving me a wide smile. Huh? Wasn't she sad just a minute ago?
It's okay. I'm Sayori.
Hi, Sayori. I'm Code. So you're looking sad? Do you want some ice cream? That makes me happy when I'm feeling sad.
Ice cream? For me? You'd buy that for me?
Sure. My mommy gave me too much money. I would have got 2 ice creams for myself. But it looked sad, and I don't like seeing my friend sad. Sayori looks at the floor. She looks kinda shy.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Now come on, which one do you want?
Ooh, thank you. The cinnamon... That one, with the long name.
The
cinnamon... Yeah.
Okay. I hand it over to her. taking mine from the ice cream man.
Thanks again.
That's okay. And just Monica 28. Hi. Hi, how's it going? We're currently this is still Doki Doki Blue Skies. We're currently in a flashback. We're on the Sayori character route. If you make it... The app name was... If you make a mod, there's the folder. Also, thank you very much for following. I appreciate that. Appreciate the follow, always do. What do you mean bot? Just Monica is a common username nowadays. Ever since the DLC dropped, it has been a frequently used name. Do you want to be friends? Eyes light up and she shows me a bright smile.
Okay. Do you want to go by the swings?
Monica is a god. She basically is. She's a god in the machine. She can do whatever she wants. As long as she... Just Monica 29. There's probably someone out there with that username as well. I don't know how many Just Monicas there are currently. But I'd be surprised if there weren't at least 69 different Just Monicas. Alright, now that we got the 69 jokes out of the way, I think we can keep going. Including patch herself into the real world. Well, that would be one hell of a patch. But honestly, there are a lot of people out there who would enjoy that patch. I'll race you there.
Hey! No fair!
Ha, you didn't say when to start.
Thanks for being my friend, Code.
Sayori is cute, absolutely. Especially because young Sayori, you have to admit, that makes her like 50% cuter at least.
I'm new here and I don't have any other friends.
No problem. You're really cool and it's nice to make a new friend. OSU, it's a rhythm game. Rockmaster has talked about this like a little bit earlier on. I haven't heard of it before either. Upon looking it up, I kind of recognized it by the looks, but haven't played it before. You're really cool and it's nice to make a new friend. Ah, there you are.
Hi, Mommy.
Alright, nice rodent, says mom. Anyone here played Totono? Nope. Doesn't ring any bells, sorry. I mean, with all this talk of games, I feel like I should probably add them to my list, but my list is already long enough right now. Now, I'm guessing Sayori's mom doesn't really show up again, so I'm not gonna give her a special voice, because I don't feel like it. I see you've made a new friend. Who might this be, Sayori?
That's Code. He got me this Shimmermon popsicle.
Ah, did he know? She was looking really sad. I thought it would cheer her up. That's very nice of you, Code. Sayori, do you mind explaining to Code why you didn't have money for the popsicle in the first place?
Wah. Do I have to?
Come on.
Okay. I was being a bit naughty earlier. Mommy told me not to eat all the candy before dinner yesterday. But I just couldn't help it. So she said I wasn't allowed to get any popsicle today.
Indeed, so she was being punished for it. Oh no, is she angry at me? I'm sorry. I didn't know that she was in trouble. Haven't done the good ending too lazy. Oh, shame on you. Nah, I get it. I mean, if you've seen the good ending already, then you don't necessarily have to play it yourself. I mean, I'm guessing you know what the good ending entails and everything. And yeah, you can get there pretty quickly with the skip feature. Although I'm glad you made a new friend, Sayori. Huh? Oh, that was me, huh? She laughs softly. Man, Sayori really looks like her. Don't you worry, Code. You are very kind. And it already looks like you two are great friends already. It's okay. Whew. Code? Huh, what? With a sudden jolt of reality, I realize I'm back in the present. Given the way Sakurai is looking at me, he clearly noticed me dozing off. Oops. I'm going to assume you fell asleep because you stayed up late doing some reading about the war. Yes, sir, of course. Excellent. Then you'll be able to answer this next question without any difficulty. I gulp. Yeah, he got me in a trap there. Let's hope it's not too unreasonable. Can you explain to me how Great Britain got involved in the war? Okay, this one I actually know. I vaguely remember Sakurai talking about this yesterday. Luckily, I am able to answer his question satisfactorily. After what feels like an eternity, a wry smile appears on his face. That late-night study session really paid off, it seems. He shoots me a knowing smile. I weakly grin back. That was close. Luckily, by the time I woke up, most of the class has already passed. Which war? Right. It's history class. They're learning about World War I. So yeah, First World War. Hooray! History class. Everyone enjoys it, right? Just how long was I out for? Anyway, as the bell is about to ring, I figured I should finish my lesson before it rings for once. Even though I'm confident that you would rather learn about the intricacies of the war than go to lunch. As if by a stroke of fate, Sakurai's stomach rumbles. He wearily rubs his face and laughs dejectedly. And Ex-Natsuki, hi! What's up? Welcome back to the stream. How are you doing? How are you doing? This voice fits him perfectly. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed that voice. Like, honestly, it took me I wasn't sure what kind of voice to give him at first, but I feel like I did a decent enough job. Doing pretty slick? Happy to hear that. Happy to hear that. The Doki Doki Massacre. Yeah, of course. That war. Absolutely, we're talking about that war. The Doki Doki Massacre. Well, if it isn't an example of Deus Ex Machina, then I don't know what it is. A smattering of laughter fills the room. Class dismissed, everyone. Everyone begins packing away their things and heading for the door, no doubt eager to refuel after the morning's session. Trollmod did an Among Us stream? Whoa! If I had known, like as in you did an Among Us stream? If I had known, I probably would have stopped by for a second just to check it out. Gotta do that in the future, probably. Although I have to admit, despite streaming on Twitch, I don't actively watch too much Twitch anymore. I know Among Us is cool, I know. I haven't played it before, but I've already downloaded it. Because I feel like I really should play it at some point. Still can't make up my mind about whether or not I should actually play it on stream or not. Especially because I feel like I don't know what else. Because I don't know if I want to fit a third stream slot, third game slot in. Because I feel like streaming 2 different games is already enough. Kinda got cancelled out because of streamer was breaking the world record. What? What do you mean? Breaking the world record in Among Us? Huh? What? 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 Huh? What? What? Apparently I didn't hear. No. World record in Among Us? How would that even work? Like the quickest kill? Quickest way to exterminate everyone? Also internet problems, apparently. I got 2.4 million viewers. Jesus. Well, apparently I didn't, apparently I'm kind of living under a rock in some regards here. So I apologize for being ignorant. Discord voice chat plus Among Us, no problem. But yeah, get better internet. I mean, not everyone... I mean, I guess... Actually, no, yeah, getting better internet would be a worthwhile investment. Then again, in some places it's a little bit hard to get a good connection. Discord voice chat plus Minecraft server. Well... Now see, those are problems I can't really relate to. For me, everything works just fine when it comes to my connection. So... sorry for not being able to relate to that too much. Everyone begins packing away their things and heading for the door, no doubt eager to refuel after the morning session. Code or word, if you will. Oh damn. Why do I get the feeling this is to do with me falling asleep? As the last student files out, I gingerly approach Sakurai's desk, a hint of resignation in my gait. Don't worry, there's no need to look so worried. Oh, sorry, I think I'm getting out of that voice here. You're not in trouble or anything like that. You had me scared, sir. I think every student dreads hearing those words. Can I have a word? Or can you see me after class? If it's any consolation, Code, you'll still fear those words even after graduation. Oh? Mischief at university, sir? No, that would be telling. Anyway, I'm getting a little sidetracked. Like I do very often. I just wanted to know how you were getting on in class. Of the course, that is. Oh, well, it's going pretty well, I'd say. History is one of my favorite subjects, and World War I is an interesting topic. Plus, your teaching style sits really well with me. And I'm sorry for falling asleep in class. I know it was a little disrespectful, I just had on a late night. There's a knowing look in Sakurai's eyes as he dismissively waves away my apology. Not to worry, Code. I know high school can be a trying period, especially when you have a lot going on. Besides, you answered my question correctly, so it's fair to assume you at least have some idea of what I'm talking about. Can't help but grin at him with the friendly, understanding aura he emanates. Sometimes you forget he's a teacher. I never fell asleep in school. Well, I did once. And, well, I certainly had a rude awakening waiting for me. I don't know, should I talk about that? It's not really that much of an interesting story. I think I might as well just get it out there. So it was in math class, believe it or not. There was a time when I was actually really good in math, so I easily got bored. And like, once we got a task to do, I just completely breezed through the task immediately. And once I was done, I was just kind of like, oh, well, we still have 10 more minutes to do this, and I don't know what else to do. And since I was tired, I kind of just zonked off and fell asleep. I woke up when the teacher was standing in front of me and slammed her hands on my desk full force. And then I got into a little bit of trouble. So, yeah, I kind of managed to somewhat talk my way out of that one, but Actually, my parents talked me out of that one, saying that it was just because I've been feeling sick recently and hadn't had a chance to get much sleep in and that sort of stuff. So they kind of bailed me out there when they, because yeah, the teacher called my parents, and that's what happened. That's my story of falling asleep in math class. As I said, not very interesting, but it happened, and I never fell asleep again. In class, I never fell asleep in class again. I'm still getting sleep, okay? Slept through 25 minutes of an additional math lesson teacher didn't notice. Lucky him, I guess. I wish the teacher hadn't noticed that I fell asleep. Alright. Although if you could try and refrain from falling asleep in class again, that would be much appreciated. Although his tone remained light and friendly, there's an edge of sternness in his voice. 8 people in class. Wait, there were 8 people in class and the teacher didn't notice someone falling asleep. Really? Well, I mean... Huh. You think the teacher didn't notice or they just didn't care? Well, that's interesting. Wouldn't think that would happen. Because honestly, it's hard not to notice in that case, but... Well, maybe the teacher was just preoccupied with their lesson and didn't pay any attention to the class themselves. Oh well, I guess that sometimes happens. But like most teachers probably would notice and wake you up. And then there's the fun teachers who will notice and try to play a little prank on you when you wake up. I guess it must be pretty disheartening as a teacher if one of your students falls asleep in your class. Oh, yeah, of course. Won't happen again, sir. Good, good. Well, I just wanted to check up on you. You're doing well, so I'm satisfied. So let me know if that changes. I'd be happy to assist where I can. No, I shouldn't be denying you your well-earned lunch break. With friends... Battery and a wire... A paralyte... Well, that's gotta hurt. Paralysator? You mean like a taser? That's gotta be pretty shocking. Yeah, that's definitely very shocking. I'm sure the person who found out learned. Nah, forgot the word. I understood what you were saying, so no worries. But did he actually use it? Or did they actually use it, or did they just make it for fun and then... I mean, they must have tried it out at least once, just to make sure it's working, right? Did they try it out on each other, or did they actually have some sort of victim in mind? But how do you even get to that real idea of just making that in class? Because his friend accidentally used on a metal chair. Oh! So that's how they realized it. I guess that's one way to find out. Stood up and said sorry and sat. Not suspicious at all. Thanks. Have a good one too, sir. With a nod, he dismisses me and returns to his desk. As I make my way to the courtyard, I notice Yuri sitting by herself, lost in a book. As I approach her, I pause. Should I ask her to join me? I'm playing it safe now. This might be our first choice, so you know, just so I don't have to skip through everything again once I have to inevitably start over because I'm gonna make the wrong decisions. This is when I'll actually be able to come back to. And he used it on himself. How many accidents did they have with that thing? Like, did they use it on... I accidentally used it on my body, now I accidentally used it on myself. I mean, I guess accidents are bound to happen. As long as they didn't use it maliciously, like on the teacher, because that would have definitely gotten them in trouble, I think. As I approach, I pause. Should I ask her to join me? She does look a little lonely, and we're all friends, right? Went to the sewage. Okay. So, let's see. First decision. Our first major decision that's gonna matter in this. And I believe they nearly died because of a lack of oxygen. Okay, that's just... Wow. Why would they go through that risk? I mean, I guess thrill-seeking and all that stuff, but still. The moment I found it was hard to breathe, I definitely would have turned around immediately. Put candles by the entrance and, you know... Oh. Well, that certainly doesn't help the oxygen situation, now does it? Now then, let's see. About this choice. So Sayori definitely wants us to make friends with everyone. Right? So inviting Yuri seems like the smart choice. Now normally you would say, I want to spend as much time with Sayori as possible, so shouldn't I not invite Yuri? But knowing Sayori, she wants us to be close to everyone. Meaning that inviting Yuri along seems like the right choice. Right? I'm not just making this up. So I'll do that. Once jumped out the window while he was grounded. Well, that's a lot of family stories you got there. Well, your dad certainly seems like an interesting individual. The kind of person who got into a lot of trouble. When he was grounded, he just jumped out the window. I'm gonna guess he was like either on the first floor or second floor, but nowhere higher than that, right? Because otherwise, that seems like a very stupid decision. Unless, of course, he had some sort of rope to climb down. That might have helped. But other than that, there's a certain limit as to how high you can survive a jump from. Is that fire? Alright, so... Honestly, with the amount of stories you have about your dad getting in trouble, like, honestly, I'm sorry if this sounds offensive in any way, but what was wrong with him when he was younger? I mean, I doubt he's still like that. He's probably calmed down a lot, especially since, you know, having a kid usually makes you be a little bit more careful, just so you can be a better example for them. But still, wow. Didn't get in trouble because his clothes were burned. That's why he got into trouble. Wow. Well, certainly have an interesting individual as a dad, that's for sure. Can't deny that. And I guess he got lucky for not getting into serious trouble for setting an entire area near a graveyard on fire. But just for a little bit of burnt clothes. I don't get... Wow. As much as I think Yuri is someone who's comfortable being by herself, I think it'll be nice to have some new company during lunch. Besides, she gets along with Sayori and I. She looks really lost in thought. Never without her books, is she? Hey Yuri. She jumps slightly, eyes widening at the sudden disturbance. Oops, I forgot she startles easily. Oh, good afternoon, Code. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. It's okay, I was just very immersed in this book. I was going to invite you to sit with me, with Sayori and I, but if you'd rather be left alone... Pensive look crosses her face. I get the feeling she isn't used to social invitations. Me? The one and only. A campfire under the desk. Alright then. Could it be that your dad's a little bit of an arsonist? Or was at least. Took me a while to process that. I mean, with all the stories, like at some point this mountain of stories has gotta end, right? Or does it just keep going and going and going? I mean, there's no way here. There's no way that Mountain of Stories doesn't end eventually, right? Jesus.
You sure? I wouldn't want to disturb your conversation.
Don't sweat it, it's fine.
Well, if you're sure.
I laugh as she packs up her things and follows me over. Leading the way, I spot Sayori in the courtyard and take a seat opposite her on one of the benches. Yuri follows suit.
Hey, Yuri. How's your week been?
It's been enjoyable so far. Don't remember more? Alright, so there is an end to it. Imagine if it was just a mountain of endless stories. Like, he's been living for an infinite amount of time and has mountains of stories to tell because he's experienced it all. There maybe are more, but just that's what you can remember right now. All right.
Learning a lot of interesting things. It's definitely stimulating. Although I'm glad it's weekend coming up.
Yeah, Sayori and I are with you on that.
How about you two? How has your week gone? It's been okay. Some lessons are kinda boring though. Still trying to wrap my head around some of the stuff we're doing in math. Japanese is going well though. We've been looking into literary techniques and how they can apply to poetry. So I think I might be able to try new stuff with my poems. Oh? Well, I look forward to seeing that, Sayori.
Yeah, same. Monica will probably appreciate it too. He broke a door. Alright then. I mean, I broke a door before. Granted, it was one of those doors that have just like a wooden frame, but the middle part is made of glass. So breaking that wasn't as difficult. But yes, I accidentally broke a door before as well. So I mean, it was just stupid. Really, really stupid. But accidents happen from time to time. Speaking of which, we're having a meeting with the club after school today.
Yep. We'll be focusing on what to do for Halloween. It'll be a lot of fun.
Not like we'll actually see Halloween because I'm skipping it. That's right up your alley, eh, Yuri?
Oh, so?
Well, Halloween is all about horror, right? And your poems typically focus on darker themes.
Ah, yes, indeed.
She smiles dreamily. I guess a day dedicated to horror is like a dream come true for her.
There's definitely a lot of room for creativity when it comes to that genre. Horror is ever so expansive. I don't like that stuff too much. Sometimes it can get really scary.
That's the point.
I'm not a big fan of fear, Sayori.
I mean, frankly, I am also easily scared, but that doesn't mean I can't appreciate horror. It just means that I don't usually... I can't usually handle extremely scary stuff. Like, I'm the kind of person who has, on occasion, had nightmares about the same thing for weeks on end. GTA 5 was free on Epic Games, you got it. I actually didn't, gotta say that, because, well, I kind of missed my window of opportunity there. But as I've said before, I'm not too much of a fan of shooting games. personally speaking, and GTA is, as far as I'm aware, a little bit more focused on like being a shooter, a third-person shooter. So there's one of the reasons why I didn't get it. It's like half of the focus is being a third-person shooter, and the other half is driving, from what I know about the game. And I don't know, it just doesn't seem too far up my alley. You got it, probably took a while, yeah, after 3 hours. And you have Slime Rancher. I have that game too. I haven't played it in forever, but I own Slime Rancher. I played it quite a bit back then, but I don't know, it just doesn't seem like the kind of game you'd get back to a lot after you've already experienced what it has to offer. Then again, I guess a lot of games can kind of be like that. Sorry, that didn't sound too ominous or weird, did it?
Not at all. I've always admired how you stick to your interests.
You got the ending of Slime Rancher? I believe so. It has been a long time, however. It's been a very, very long time. So I can't quite recall everything. But I do think I got it.
It's really cool to see. Don't worry about it.
Oh, well, that's reassuring to hear, I suppose. Makes for some nice variety in the club, Yuri. The bell rings, cutting short our conversation. Well, time to get these last few hours over with. See you both in the club.
See ya, guys.
She cheerfully waves.
Until then.
As I open the door, the familiar sight of the girls greet me. Although Monica is missing. It's a little unlike her to be late, isn't it? Then again, she was tardy that one time during the first week at the club. Hey everyone!
Hey!
Hi! The girls have pushed a few desks together and are sitting in a row, with Sayori on the left, Yuri in the middle, and Natsuki on the right. I wearily flop next to Sayori.
Hello, Code. How were your last few classes?
About as fun as the last few classes on a Friday could ever be. Monica and admin privileges, Monica the administrator. I mean, she kind of already had admin privileges in the original game, right? After all, she was constantly rewriting and deleting files as she pleased. I feel like that's pretty much admin status.
While school can be a wonderful place to learn new things, I'll admit that a weekend break is always appreciated. It's nice to have a break.
Did you know that Doki Doki Literature Club was made in Python? Actually, I think so, yeah. I think I've heard that piece of information before. I'm not sure when or where I heard it, but I think I heard that. Then again, everyone can say that, right? Oh yeah, I've heard that before, which is why I'm saying I think, because I'm not entirely sure. But I do think I recall some of that, hearing that somewhere before. For sure, by the way, does anyone know where Monica is?
We're just talking about that? She was the one who set up this meeting, yet she's late for it?
Don't know when, don't know where, but all I know is that I did. Yes. You know, I'm not sure if that was your intention, but I think it was. That reminds me of that one meme. I don't know I don't know who I am. I don't know where I am. Actually, was that how it goes? I don't know who I am. I don't know where I am. All I know is that I must kill. That one meme. Yeah. All right. Figured as much. I figured as much. All right. You know, I think it's pretty obvious, but a long time ago, when I fell down the VTuber rabbit hole, which I guess it's obvious that I did. After all, I am one. I was also like, I don't know where I am. I don't know how I got here. All I know is that I must simp. That's pretty much, I feel like that's what a lot of people feel when they first stumble into the rabbit hole, right? Wait, is it 12 p.m. or 12 a.m.? Midnight. I think it's 12 p.m.? I think it's 12 p.m. Or is it a.m.? I'm always confused with that. Which is why I prefer going by military time. And just say it's either 12 o'clock or 24 o'clock. You know. 0 a.m. Right. She rolls her eyes. I bet she's playing the piano or coming back from tennis. Or whatever her latest hobby is. As she says that, the door opens and Monica comes bursting in, an apologetic look on her face.
Sorry. I'll keep this one brief, don't worry.
Sitting at a desk in front of us, she pulls out her laptop and fires it up. There's silence as the machine whirs to life, along with a slight anticipation. Unfortunately, there's still a trace of tension in the air, undoubtedly stemming from everyone's memory of the festival. It's not particularly prominent. The club still has a laid-back, cozy aura, but there's just enough to serve as an uncomfortable reminder. I guess I was naive to think something so serious would get brushed over so soon, especially the argument between Natsuki and Monica. Nonetheless, Monica, with all her charms as the confident leader, is quick to move things along.
Okay, everyone. So, as you guys know, Halloween is coming up. Sayori and I were talking. How does a Halloween party sound? Halloween party?
Didn't think you were much of a party girl, Monica?
No, not that kind of party. I mean, if we held a little event here in the school.
Yeah, we could share scary stories, dress up, that sort of thing.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Sayori gave me the idea. We could all write horror-themed poems in the spirit of Halloween.
As expected, Yuri's eyes light up. Natsuki, on the other hand, doesn't look quite as convinced. Scary poems? Meh, it's not really my kind of thing.
Well, see it as an opportunity to try something new and grow as a poet. It would definitely be interesting to see what you all come up with. See, that's the attitude to have, guys. Plus, it's been a while since I've done anything for Halloween. I was initially against it at first, but Sayori can be pretty persuasive, and I think I should be able to find some time for it, so what do you guys think?
I have a Bluetooth headphone on full volume at the so I can finally hear Yuri. I don't think hearing Yuri is too much of a problem, but I know my Monica voice is very quiet.
Like, I do believe that this voice is still kind of audible, right? I don't think this voice is too much of a problem, but this voice doesn't seem to be too loud. No, does it?
I don't know. I know that Monica and maybe Yuri are a little bit more on the quiet side. But what do you want me to do? I'm already doing my best here. Also, I think I just missed a line of text. Halloween event, huh? Much like Monica, it's been a long time since I've done anything for this festivity. Most of my Halloween memories come from the pranks Sayori and I would pull on each other back when we were children. Although a distant memory, I'd be lying if I said they weren't fun. Mic 200% louder. I guess that doesn't seem like the worst idea. You see, the thing is, I definitely have to look into where else I can crank up the volume. Because in most places I've already increased the volume to its absolute maximum. That's possible. Like on both my recording software and in the mic settings themselves, I think too, I have increased the volume for the mic to 100%. So I'd have to look into where else I can push it up even more. What was seconds later? I mean, that's just. Anyway, yeah, sounds cool to me. I'm in. Although we've got to tell ghost stories too, you know, go all out.
I think that's a wonderful idea.
Psh, of course you want Yuri. Yeah, okay. I get to scare the crap out of you with my scary stories. I'm down.
Yeah, it'll be fun, guys. I just have one question, though.
Anyway. Or should I do it like the more like go back into the meme terminology? Oh no. Anyway.
You said we'd hold the event here, in the school. Assuming we do it while it's dark, wouldn't the school be closed?
Yeah, that's a good point actually. Unless we did it at one of our houses. I don't know if we'd have the room though. Unless you planned on like breaking into school after hours.
Well...
The moment of silence along with Sayori's tone of voice is incredibly telling. No way. Can I get drunk with the wine? I'm not. Yeah? I mean... Actually, didn't she bring wine during the Didn't she bring wine during the Halloween event? Didn't she actually do that? Can't quite remember. I know Monica talked about Yuri having wine at some point in the post-game. But didn't she actually bring wine during the Halloween event? Isn't that okay? Isn't that a thing that happened? Yeah, she did. Alright. Everyone quiet, main character. Anyway. No way. You honestly let Sayori talk you into that, Monica?
Eventually, I told Sayori I was fine with it, but I'm still on the fence about it. Now that I'm thinking about it, could we host the party at one of your places? Natsuki?
No. It's a pretty cool idea to break into school. Gotta have that rebellious teenage spirit, right?
But what if we get caught? We'd get in so much trouble.
Sorry, Yuri, but I'm with Natsuki here. Wouldn't the thrill of potentially being caught add to the atmosphere? Besides, it'll probably be pretty creepy in here at night when everyone's gone home. Perfect place for this sort of event.
See? I told you, Monica. Well, I was just surprised at how willing you were to break some major rules, Sayori. I've always thought of you as the student who wouldn't go looking for trouble. Well, once or twice won't hurt anyone.
And now we know why Yuri acted so aggressively while on fight with Natsuki. It's all the wine's fault and main character. I mean, yeah, that's big twist. Yuri has actually been a major alcoholic this entire time. She drinks excessively. We just never realized. Don't let that innocent exterior fool you, Monica. Sayori can be ever so sly when she wants to be. She's got a hidden dark side, you know.
Hey! Don't overdo it! Make it up with you. Well, now that that's been settled, we can sort out some decorations for the room. Code, please, can we carve some pumpkins?
I sigh. As long as you don't accidentally drop one on my foot again. Slay. Late, parents are sleeping, but you can't stop. I can't load? Because it's late in parents' sleep, but I can't stop. Alright, I'm sorry, but I didn't quite understand the third word you said there. Maybe I'm just being dumb right now. Oh, laugh. There we go. I'm sorry, yeah. I mean, that's the worst case, right? Usually that's when you have to laugh the most, like when you can't afford to laugh because parents are, you're either in class or everyone around you is sleeping. That's usually the time when it's the hardest to suppress your laughter. It just really wants to come out whenever it's not supposed to. Totally had a stroke, yeah.
I'll try. Well, at least that's you two sorted. How about you, Natsuki?
I could bake some cupcakes or some cookies. Put some Halloween stuff on them. Like spiders or whatever. That'd look awesome. And you can bet they taste as good as they look.
Yes! You're the best, Natsuki.
Geez, all it takes is the mention of cupcakes, doesn't it?
Yours are so good, though.
Well, I am the best.
And how about you, Yuri? Based on what you contributed for the festival, am I right in assuming that it's some sort of contribution towards the ambience or atmosphere?
Coding with Monica time. I mean, hey. I mean, why not? Coding with Monica, why not? If Monica were, I think Monica would be a nice help in assisting when it comes to coding, right? Yuri closes her eyes, clearly in thought. I've come to appreciate how Yuri is someone who really thinks before she speaks.
Yes, I think something like that would be ideal. I'll let you know the finer details once I've settled on something, if it's alright. Of course. Well then, on that note, I think that's everything.
She finishes typing and puts the laptop lid down.
Wait! We should all dress up too!
As in Halloween costumes?
Yep.
Bit old for that, aren't we?
Come on! We used to have a lot of fun doing it when we were kids, so let's do it again!
She does have a point there. I guess it could be quite amusing to see what she can come up with as well.
Or would we be able to come in as anything? As long as it's to do with Halloween, sure! Well, I don't really know if I'll have the time.
Wait, if she bring wine for Halloween, what will she bring for Christmas? I think she learned her lesson after the Halloween incident, that's why she didn't bring anything for Christmas. But imagine if we actually accept the wine during Halloween, what sort of stuff would she bring for Christmas? That's a good question. Maybe just more. Imagine she just came to our Christmas party rolling like a barrel of wine down the street in front of her. Time to get hammered. Getting hammered with Yuri, that's how it goes. Or whiskey, yes. Or getting the high grade alcohol, that's true too. Jesus.
Well, I don't really know if I'll have the time.
Upon seeing Sayori's face drop, she hastens to speak once more.
But I'll do my best.
Yeah, I'm in too. Looks like I'll have to get creative as well. Although at the moment the only thing I want to do now is go home and relax. Standing up, I stretch and yawn, looking at the clock. You somehow transformed a knife into wine. Because why not? That's of course the first thing I would think of when it comes to that. I mean, if I had the power, that would definitely be. But that's a very situational power to have, isn't it? Like Knife Jesus. I was gonna say, does that mean she can walk on knives too? But everyone can walk on knives. As long as they're, you know, not like pointed upwards with the blade or anything like that. Grape flavored water from latex gloves. Latex gloves. Grape flavored water from. Well, that's certainly a curious thing to think of. Who would come up with that? Who would come like that and be like, yes, I can turn this into a flavor for water. Because why not?
Anyway, I'll call the club meeting here. No poems today, sorry. But I'm sure mean poems will make up for that.
There's a general murmur of agreement as the girls stand up and pack away. Ready to go, Sayori?
Okie dokie.
Any plans for the weekend?
Well, we've got to get our Halloween stuff sorted, remember? So let's head to town and get the pumpkins and things ready.
Seeing as you're lazy, I'll let you sleep in and pick you up from your house instead of us meeting at mine.
Hey! It's not like I can help it, you know. Anyway, let's meet at noon, okay?
Sounds good. See you then. She turns around and heads inside. I can almost feel my own home beckoning. Somehow something in glass has the same structure as grape artificial flavor? How was that discovered? I mean, sure, they probably looked at the molecular structure and that's it. But I like to imagine they found out by accident, like somehow a latex glove got shredded, landed in someone's water, and they drank it and like, where did this grape flavor come from? Oh, there's a shredded up glove in there. Yeah, that's what I like to believe now. I mean, it was most likely was just a look at the molecular structure that kind of confirmed that, but still. It's that wonderful weekend feeling. Also, I just remembered something. Nice story, I might as well mention this. You know, for my previous stream, I kind of got in trouble with Twitch for the first time. It was not like major trouble, but it was the first time Twitch kind of decided to look at the stream and be like, yeah, no, no, we gotta do something about that. So there's like a 6-minute section of my previous stream that just got muted now, and you can't hear that anymore. So, there you go. Fun fact for you. It's nothing major, as I've said, it's just that a section of the stream got muted, and that's it. But, hey, my first time of getting into trouble. Something else at the end, because they didn't have too much. And Assassin Ducky, hi, welcome back. Welcome back. Don't mind me just talking about getting in trouble with Twitch for stuff and them muting part of my stream. But I believe once the upload on YouTube should be, once it is actually published on YouTube, should have the full audio again. Unless of course YouTube also takes issue with that stream, which you never know, it might. Alright, so I think you were around for that. Remember at the end of the Genshin Impact stream, when I listened to that little snippet of audio from some comedian or something. Yeah, that got me claimed on Twitch. And that section of the stream is, thankfully, as I've said, nothing serious. They just muted like a 6-minute segment of my stream, like where that thing was in there. But still, now I know that Twitch is actually checking that stuff for me. But who knows? Maybe YouTube is gonna be a little bit more lenient. Or they're gonna be even more strict. Who knows, yeah. It's vinyl gloves, alright. Now I know. Still doesn't change the fact that someone apparently decided that, yes, I can turn these gloves into a flavor for water. I mean, feel free to send the link. I might check it out towards the end, but I'll check it out on my own or at least I'll mute the audio, because I don't feel like I want to cause an incident with Twitch again. So might check that out later. That was perhaps the most satisfying night's sleep I've had in a while. What time is it? Wow, it's 10:30. For me, that's super early. 42 minutes of chemistry, and then I definitely won't watch it on stream. That's a little bit long. This is the second Saturday in a row that I've woken up before noon. Am I slowly shedding my vampiric traits? As I draw the curtains and feel the sunshine flowing through the glass, I can't help but feel really content. In fact, ever since joining the literature club, even in spite of the festival, my mood's generally been so much better than usual. Toilet paper into alcohol? Alright, that's a lot of crazy stuff happening then. First, it's due to what I told the girls before we started our recitals. It's just nice to have people my own age to hang out with. But what if it's something more than that? Sayori? Even thinking about her brings that warm feeling back, although not as strongly. Could it be? I don't get it why Twitch would do that. I was curious why he wrote it that way, but we all know Twitch is kind of stupid. Because it censors words like dumb. And if dumb is not really too much of an insult. I've talked about this before, so I won't talk about it now too much. Just bringing it up. Twitch's censoring is a little bit too direct, too strict, too everything. Am I really starting to like her in that way? As if to interrupt my brain, my stomach grumbles. Guess I'll give this a muse over breakfast. What do I feel like having today? Cereal, toast, fried eggs, sausage, bacon. So many choices. I think eggs, sausage, and bacon will do for now. Much better. I can see why Sayori mentioned breakfast in her first poem. There I go again, always thinking about her. If I were to be honest, as much as I enjoy all the girls' company, I'd be lying if I said I'd be as excited if I were to spend today with another girl. Maybe it's because of the history we share. Or because Natsuki is a little too cold for my tastes and Yuri is a little too quiet? I don't know. Since day one, I've always been comfortable talking to Sayori. And that's never changed. I swear I read somewhere that if you can go years without talking to a friend, then when you do finally reconnect, if you're able to get along like nothing ever happened, then it's a sign of a true friendship. I'm just looking into this too much. Feelings. And that was me thinking that the stuff we do in math is hard to get your head around. One thing that never changes is Sayori's inability to get up on time. 5 minutes pass and I grow impatient. Fishing out my phone, I shoot her a text. It's noon, you lazy girl. We've got pumpkins to carve, remember? Minutes tick by without a response. Sayori? At this rate, I'd probably have more of a two-way conversation with a mime. Man, how creepy must I look, just aimlessly standing outside her house. With a sigh, I open the gate and head to her house. We're really gonna have to work on her sleeping patterns. I always knew she could be a little lazy, but this is getting annoying. Sayori? It's me. Are we gonna gently open the door? Sorry, I didn't want to wait outside. Are you, dressed? Welding metal without heat? Oh, right, you're still talking about that's chemistry stuff. As I've said, I'll probably watch it after the stream and check out what it is. So, I'm very curious to see Sayori now. Gently open the door. Gently open the door and don't find her hanging there. Let me quickly just check the settings, just in case. Yes. Because are you dressed also makes me kind of worried. If I strain my eyes, I can faintly pick up the sound of her voice. She's not replying to me, though. It sounds like she's talking to herself. I can't quite pick up what she's saying from this distance. Probably sleep talking, and knowing her, sleep talking about food. Sayori and Ropes goes brrr, brrr. Sayori and Ropes go brrr. No, seriously, we can't find her. She's still talking, so it's fine. If she's still talking, she's alive. Nearing the end of my patience. Okay, that was your last chance. If you're getting changed or anything, you can't be mad at me. Man, her room is a mess. And Sayori herself is tucked away in the mess of pillows, blankets, and the duvet that forms her bed. There's a wave of hair that's fallen into her mouth, and she is drooling slightly. Didn't fuse with the rope yet. Right, we're still okay. She's curled up into a ball with her arms hugging herself. It's a strangely adorable sight, and I feel bad for having to wake her. As I draw closer, I can finally make out what she's saying. And to my dismay, it's nothing wholesome at all. It sounds more like she's softly whimpering to herself, and I can also spot glistening red trails down her cheeks. Seeing Sayori cry is a sight I wish I'd never have to see.
Can't help it.
What's she talking about?
Sorry, I'm so useless, but really trying. For everyone.
She flips over restlessly, a sob accompanying the movement. Your voice... You're close to where I am, like in the game? Are you also just like it about this section? Is that what you mean? Because, well, in that case, if you don't want to get spoiled, I don't blame you if you want to tune out now. But if that's fine with you, you can also stick around. A beach. I am your beach. Yes, I remember that one. I remember that poem. I am your beach. Dear Twitch and YouTube later on, I'm saying beach, like the place, not the other word. Alright? Just so we're clear on that.
But it's so hard.
Yeah, not taking it out of context. Mute 5 minutes goes brrr. I mean, seriously, I don't think that's the kind of thing that would be. I mean, I've cursed before, right? And it never got me into trouble. The only time I got into trouble was when I listened to that little bit of audio.
So tiring. Don't want to do anymore. No, please. Someone. Anyone. I know. Selfish.
Sayori. Her head turns slightly, almost as if she's heard me. Her eyes remain shut, so it's impossible to tell if she's awake. Sayori, it's me. Code. It's okay, I'm here. Was it because I was doing an argument with a streamer? Streamer didn't mute me. Twitch muted me globally for 24 hours. I mean, it's just stupid, isn't it? I've said this before, but honestly, Twitch is making some very bad decisions recently. I hope they kind of get over themselves and actually, you know, take back some of the choices they've made and get back on track. Because if they don't, I think I might have to permanently switch to YouTube for streams as well. And just abandon Twitch, stream on YouTube. If Twitch doesn't get over themselves. Not like YouTube is doing much better. They also make some very bad choices. But, you know, you can't win them all. I don't think there's any streaming platform that's actually perfect. Which is sad. Like, honestly, I really wish Twitch would treat their creators and their community overall a little bit more kindly. And not just censor every little thing they see and stuff like that. Because they're really a little bit... They're too strict. I don't get it.
No, don't want to go. Didn't work last time. They said it would work.
Fresh sobs fill the room as she cries harder. Her voice breaks completely as tears drip down her face. There are more double ads. Yeah, that's definitely a bad choice on YouTube. Especially when it's double ads and it's like 20-second unskippable ads and you get 2 of them back to back. Also, I think they're showing ads much more frequently now as well. Like before, you could watch like multiple videos and like get an ad like every couple videos, and now it's like you have to be lucky if you get like one ad-free video within like 5 videos of you're watching. Like, not only are they showing double ads, they're also showing them more frequently. They have more ads that you just can't skip. Like, honestly, there's so much going on. They really just want to force you to get premium, I think. At this point, I've had enough. Strong protective instinct within me demands that I reach out and gently clasp one of her hands with mine. With her hand in mine, I gingerly shake her awake. Sayori.
Code?
Out of that final mysterious utterance, her eyes flutter open, with panic momentarily flashing through them. When she sees me, she visibly relaxes and sits up.
Oh, hi, Code.
She hastily turns away and tries to discreetly wipe her face. I'm still trying to process what I've just witnessed. Sayori, are you okay? A small thing like YouTube/Twitch ads 10 to 15 minutes or 3 videos because videos can't be short. No double ads. The problem with making that is like, even if you manage to make a new platform for streamers, that doesn't mean it'll be well known. At least in the beginning, most streamers will still be on the 2 biggest streaming platforms there are, which are Twitch and YouTube. Meaning that even new streamers will prefer to go to these platforms because any new platforms just don't have that many people on them yet. And that's the biggest problem with that. That's why Twitch and YouTube can just do what they want, because they don't have much competition. Because building up a new streaming website takes time. Because without a bunch of people on that site, it's not worth streaming. All right. I think we're having a nightmare.
Oh, was I? I didn't remember anything like that.
I was literally right here, listening to you cry. Of course you had a nightmare. You said some really concerning stuff. She anxiously bites her lip as she replies.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you worried.
You seriously need to stop thinking that you're a burden. It's my job to be concerned about you. We're best friends.
You're really silly sometimes, you know that?
What's going on, Sayori? Please just talk to me. She looks ashamed as she gets herself out of bed.
Oh god, I just realized. I totally forgot that what we have planned for today. And I overslept. God, I'm so sorry. I'm such an idiot.
She flails around and on instinct I reach out and pull her into a hug. Playing Call of Duty or just listening? Again, I don't mind you just listening. Like, honestly, if you just want to listen, then you just want to listen. That's totally fine. I completely understand that. I'm usually not the type to comment a lot on streams either. Just listening is completely acceptable. Maybe I'm just saying that because that's what I do a lot, but that way you can... We've talked about this before. I don't think I need to get into it about actually doing something while at the same time getting entertainment from some sort of videos or streams you're watching. Whenever I'm doing something, I usually prefer to have something running in the background too, be it a stream or just YouTube videos. It just, I don't know, gets me in a better mood, helps me be less bored. I don't know, how should I put it? you get what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, not getting too much into in depth on that because we've discussed that topic before. She flails around on an instinct, and I reach out and pull her into a hug. Clearly, this takes her by surprise, as she doesn't make an effort to return it, at least initially, but after a while she eventually starts to weakly hug back. As we break apart, Sayori smiles, clearly trying to put her nightmare behind her.
Thank you, Code.
Watch time. I don't have a watch time command, I have an uptime command, which basically is probably the same thing. Then again, watch time is basically, I think watch time would be for you personally, how long you've been around, right? Yeah, I only have the uptime command for the stream as a whole. And we'll probably go for like around 3 hours again. That always seems like a good time. So in case you're wondering, we're still gonna be going for a while.
Thank you, Code. You always know how to make me feel better. Anyway, we have a lot to do today, right? Let's get started then.
Is she really going to try and ignore the elephant in the room? Sayori, don't you want to talk?
No. Sorry, I really don't want to talk about it, if that's okay.
Another glimpse of this concerning side she works so hard to pass off. How's your coding experience? Frankly, I'm not sure how to answer that question. I mean, it's not like I'm too bad at coding, but I know my name tells another story, but I am no expert on it either. That might be... Now, this is actually kind of an interesting story. This, despite what makes me, me, and I'm sure some of you have read about this in the About section, but I'm actually personally much more interested in... Now, this doesn't mean I'm not interested in coding. Naturally, don't get me wrong. Who wouldn't be interested in that? And I have worked on like a little bit of stuff before. As I've said before, I have actually worked on a small Pokemon fan game demo that I never really continued too much after that. But despite everything, I'm actually a little more interested in biology than coding, really. I know, right? Leave it to the computer program to be more interested with biology than programming. But what's wrong with that, right? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Is there? Better than me? Not really. There's like a lot of programs that can assist you with that. You just need to mainly open up an editor to design the map, import some textures, and fill out the library with all the base stats, the moves, and stuff like that. Coding in new items and stuff, that's where you actually need to do some little bit more programming. I mean, you've seen the my alert from time to time, right? Whenever I get follows and everything like that. Those sprites are actually ones I made for said demo. So there you go. I think I talked about that before. Thought I might as well mention that. And yet, there they are. Those walls I can never get through. But,
Code, please. It's nothing. Everyone has nightmares.
She seizes on my moment of silence.
Anyway, can you just give me a moment to get dressed? Then we can start getting spooky.
With a sigh of resignation, I leave and close the door behind me. Making games in Python, figuring out how to make games safe in text file. Alright then. Well, I wish you the best of luck and success in making that. I hope whatever you make turns out great. That is, well, Since you're currently still figuring out how to best approach it, I know it's gonna take a while for you to properly make anything major. But there's that. Can I import graphics? Nope. Fair point, fair point. But let me tell you this, if you're making a Pokemon game with all the different tools that exist out there, importing graphics is actually really easy. You just need to search for the correct file where all graphics are saved and import your images in there. Just plop them right into the folder and they should show up in the game. Like one disappears after that? Nope. Well, I won't even have to deal with that, because when making like a Pokemon game and designing a map, there's really not much you need to do. Like, you have each tile on screen is either one you can walk on or one which counts as a wall, and that's pretty much it. So, yeah, Python is kind of different. I get that. I definitely get that. For sigh of resignation, I leave and close the door behind me.
Can we get some pumpkins from this? We can get some pumpkins from the supermarket. You've got a knife at home, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not Yuri, but I do definitely have knives. Everything. Code images, everything. Yeah, that seems like a little bit of... I mean, there are certainly some people who would probably find that to be very helpful. But I don't think I would even know how to approach that.
So, what kind of things should we carve into them?
Faces, probably.
Bats, skulls, all those cheesy Halloween things, right?
It's tempting to not answer, to give Sayori a taste of her own medicine. I don't think she's aware of just how frustrating this is. But then again, do I really want this to ruin the day? Sayori's clearly trying to put it past us. As much as I want to know what's going on, she's clearly not in any mood to divulge. And bringing it up now would probably ruin the mood and day for both of us. Besides, I can't really stay angry at her. But once I learn, I'll try to make a game only with coding. That seems like a major challenge. But hey, once you reach that point, who knows? You might say... Once you actually get to that point, I'd be glad to play it, maybe even on stream. We'll see, we'll see. Who needs images, exactly? I mean, there are many text-based games, right? Like those games where it's just like a text window, that are like those generated text windows, like, you are at the edge of a great forest, and then just typing in, I enter the forest, stuff like that. Those types of games definitely don't need images. So those are probably a little bit easier to do. Her general bubbly persona is so infectious, only someone without a heart could be immune to it. Make a game inside Notepad? Nice. I begrudgingly smile. Or spiders.
I forgot how much you're terrified of them.
Oh, come on, like you're any better.
I am. Okay, maybe with the big ones.
Even though Halloween isn't as largely celebrated here, at least compared to Western countries, Stops have still made a decorative effort. All of these cheesy cliché Halloween decorations can be seen both on the exterior and interior of the shop. Kinda easy. I think... Actually, yeah, no, I think I know. You can just... Can you just, from a program, just access text files, like Notepad, to access anything you've written in there as usable code? Yeah, that should be... You just need to specify the file it's supposed to access, and then there you go. Luckily for us, all the pumpkins are right at the front. Wow. These are huge.
Which means we have more space to make some awesome decorations, don't you think?
Her eyes meet mine, the cheerful enthusiasm still bouncing around in them. Yeah, good thinking. Let's get these 3.
Oh, do you mind if I grab some food for later?
Yeah, sure. What were you thinking?
Pizza.
Not exactly the healthiest of choices, is it? What's wrong with pizza?
Hey, I don't see you chomping on salad, you know.
Can't dispute that. But in all seriousness, Sayori, maybe you should try something that isn't just junk food? I worry about you sometimes, you know.
I know. You don't need to, though. I'll make more of an effort soon, I promise.
Alright, fine. Pizza it is. But only if I get a slice. Or 2.
Deal.
Echo off, escape. Sex appear. Alright. In an attempt to display my masculine bravado, I volunteer to carry all 3 of the pumpkins. In hindsight, given how much my arms are screaming at me, I immediately regret this decision.
I can't believe you didn't let me carry any of them. You're so silly sometimes.
Pfft, it's no sweat, Sayori. No sweat at all. Don't drop them. Don't drop them. Don't drop them. Last step. Something text. A bat. Alright, yep. Bad file. No, bad file. Alright, stupid jokes are out of the way, so there you go.
Aha!
What?
The pumpkin shaped like your head.
I swear to God, I will throw one of these at you.
You wouldn't dare. Besides, I don't think you'd be able to lift it high enough.
I hate how true that is.
Sayori 1, code 0.
That's so unfair. I know bad files are a thing. I know that's what they're called, but come on, you gotta let me make these stupid jokes. You're taking advantage of the poor situation I'm in.
Not true. If I recall correctly, you're the one who insisted on carrying these.
She adopts a comedic, super low male voice.
It's okay, Sayori. I'm a big, strong guy who can handle all these pumpkins.
Blue skies, yeah. Yes, it is blue skies. Why are you asking? Wanna check it out for yourself? Or what is it? Or trying to look up more people who played this, which is also understandable. To be fair, other than people who have said so on my stream, I haven't really seen too many people playing this. Then again, DDLC mods aren't as prominent as like the original game. Or mods for other games, like Minecraft. So I don't think there's too many people who actually play modded DDLC. Which is kind of sad, considering that there are, as far as I know, some real gems out there. Like this one. Wait a moment. So I'm trying to do an impression of a girl trying to do an impression of me. How do I do this? Do I lean more towards my own voice, or do I try to make it her voice? Oh, this is interesting. How do I impersonate someone impersonating me? It's okay, Monica. I'm a strong... Did I just say Monica? It's because I read Monica before a story in chat right now. It's okay, Monica. I'm a big, strong guy who can handle all of these pumpkins. God, it says something in a deep voice. I really don't know how to do that. Okay, firstly, I do not sound like that. Right? An innocent smirk is my only response, which turns into indignation as I blow a puff of air into her face. It's the little victories in life.
So, which shape should we go first?
Let's just keep it simple for now. We can go with a generic jack-o'-lantern face. Pull up a reference photo on my phone.
You've gotta start by scooping out the insides, though. So let's cut a hole in the top.
Are you sure you don't sound like that? Let's just be honest. I think most people who have heard their own voice... Anyway! That's gonna stick around, isn't it? I think most people who hear their own voice are shocked that they actually sound like that at first, right? Like, whenever someone hears their own... It's not just me. I think it's everyone. Once you hear your own voice, you're like, I can't believe I actually sound like that. It was certainly the reaction I had. I was extremely shocked when I first heard my own voice. Like, do I really sound so cringy? I can't believe it. And even when doing these extra voices, like Natsuki. Natsuki is one of the most fun voices for me to do, but listening back on it, it just sounds extra cringy compared to all the other voices. Oh well. With a look of steadfast determination, she slices away the top of the pumpkin, exposing the contents within. She looks really cute with that look on her face. Her nose is scrunched up and she's focusing intently on her task. And the best part is she's so oblivious to how endearing she really is.
Come on! Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty.
Okay, okay. Oh man, it feels so cold and sticky. Slow but steady work as we scoop out the inside. Do my best to not focus on how soft her hands and arms feel as they brush against mine.
There! Now my hands are all sticky.
Yeah, mine too. Say, do you want a new hairstyle? I grin and reach forward, aiming for Sayori's head.
Ah! Don't you even think about it.
Okay, okay. I won't. I hold my hands up as a sign of peace. Sayori remains backed up away from me, a suspicious look on her face. As she lets her guard down and comes close, I dart forward and boop her on the nose, leaving an orange smear.
Hey! Meanie! I'm going to get you for that.
Only if you can actually catch me. I laugh and dart away from her strike. Sayori has never been particularly coordinated, so it's pretty easy to dodge her clumsy attempts. As she comes in for another swipe, I catch her wrist with my hands. She's squirming and wriggling, doing her best to escape my grip. Are we gonna get a new artwork here? Unfortunately, due to the slipperiness of the pumpkin coating on both of our hands, my grip isn't as strong as I'd like. She manages to twist her arm free and lands a respectable orange smear on my cheek.
Ah, aha! I told you!
Her victory is short-lived as I manage to return the favor down her neck.
Ah, okay, okay. A truce. For real this time.
No tricks?
No. We still have to carve the pumpkins.
Okay, fair enough. After we wash our hands, Sayori takes a pen and starts to trace a face onto the pumpkin. I'm looking through the cupboards, trying to find a knife that's big enough. If we were at Yuri's house, we probably would have had an easy time finding a knife. That face will haunt you. Will it now? Will it now? I think I'm gonna decide what haunts me. Ah, this one will do.
How's this?
I wandered over to the left of Sayori. Knife goes chop, 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 absolutely. As I've said, I'm no Yuri, but I certainly am in possession of some knives. This is unfair. How is it that a girl who was late to wake up and get ready still smells really good? Wait, are you just sniffing her right now? Are you just sniffing her right now? Is that it? Dude, what is wrong with you? Far away, detached part of me vaguely remembers something my biology teacher was saying about pheromones.
Well?
Yeah, it smells great.
Smells?
Huh?
Huh?
Oh damn, did I say smell instead of look? Dude, you're a moron. Alright. So our main character seems a little bit more like a degenerate this time than usually. Not only is he sniffing her, but he's also talking about it. Guess I'm a little hungry. Yeah, that's perfect. I'll start carving it. There.
Wow, that looks great. We make an awesome team, don't we?
Smell it. Smell it looks beautiful. We sure do. What about the other two pumpkins? I was thinking we could do a bed for this one, and we could keep this one, keep it simple for the last one. Like, cover Boo into it. Perfect. Well, here we go again. Actually, hang on. Did I say that of the wrong line? Oh, yeah.
Like, carve Boo into it?
There we go. I knew I said that wrong. Well, here we go again. A while later, we're finally all done. Our handiwork sits proudly in front of us. Job well done.
The others are gonna love them.
I just realized. We must look like two proud parents. Except our kids are pumpkins. So he breaks out into giggles. Well, that's not how genetics work, my friend. Unless, of course, they're adopted. Ah, yes, me, my girlfriend, and our adopted kids. A bunch of pumpkins. This one looks beautiful, absolutely. Of course it looks beautiful.
Code, you've always been really funny, you know that?
One of these days I'll learn how to take a compliment from the opposite sex. Especially when it comes from someone I think I'm starting to fall in love with. One day I'll learn to take a compliment in general. Unfortunately, that day is not today. As I feel my cheeks heat up, I'd be very surprised if Sayori didn't pick up on it.
Anyway, I've had a lot of fun today. Sadly, I've got a lot of homework to get on with, so I'm gonna have to go. But I'll take a pumpkin with me.
Doki Doki Sniff Sniff Club. Is there a smelling club? No. There's no way a club like that would get approved. But if it did, though.
Anyway, I'll see you on Monday. Oh, and look, I know you're concerned about me, about what happened earlier. But please just try not to worry too much about or anything. I'll try and tell you when I'm comfortable, okay? Hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend.
You were comfortable before, but a phone call interrupted it. I remember that. With a click, the door closes behind me. Don't get much time to stew over the day's events, though as my phone blares to life, it's my mother. Yes, one of the most pointless characters. Then again, Shiori and Emi are even more pointless. Sakurai... Well, Sakurai I can handle because I actually really like him, both as a character and I like doing his voice, so I'm not complaining about any appearances of Sakurai. But the mom, I don't know. Ah, yes, Mom, I totally smelled a girl accidentally and told her. Yes, Mom, you remember my childhood friend? Yeah, today I just straight up sniffed her and told her how good she smells, and I got her covered in some sticky substances. So, yes, that's the story we're gonna go for.
Hey, Code. How have you been doing? Are you eating well?
Whoa, Mom, slow down. I'm fine. School is going well. Sakurai started talking about World War I, so history is pretty enjoyable. About the eating part, how are things on your end?
Stressful. I want to come home and see you. I've been feeling ever so guilty about being away.
Nah, it's fine, seriously. Since joining the club, that lonely feeling has pretty much disappeared. Plus, Sayori and I are hanging out a lot, so it's nice to have some regular contact with her again.
Oh yes, that club of yours. You said it was a literature club, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, well, that should mean your grades for Japanese will be fantastic, right?
It's definitely helping. Slow down. Mom goes brrrr. She doesn't know how to slow down, and we all know that. And the other club members? Yeah, we get along pretty well. One girl is really shy, the other one is kinda cold, but I think she's a softie at heart. Oh, Monica's the president.
Oh, the Monica you used to share classes with? The one you had a crush on?
Mom, I didn't have a crush on her.
Of course not. So, being around Sayori again. When I called you last week, you were at the park with her, right?
Yeah?
So happy for both of you. She was always your best friend growing up, although perhaps it's a motherly intuition, but I get the feeling that you and Sayori...
What about us? I can sense her knowing smile on the other end of the phone. Girl, you say? Seriously, is it so hard for parents to understand that it's okay for a male person to have a female friend? Then again, we all know that regarding Sayori, it goes a little beyond that.
Why, you tell me?
Oh. Does this choice actually matter? I mean... You know what? I am gonna tell her. Never talk to this. Yes, exactly. Females, they are a strange foreign species, which we'll never be able to fully understand. Yeah, I think... Normally I wouldn't talk about this stuff, but... I get the feeling it might come in helpful later on, in order to get the good ending. I think we might have to tell her. Because I know this game is very unforgiving. So yeah. Let's take any help we can get. Well, truth be told, Mom, I think I really like her. Like, in that sense.
Yes, I did think this day would come eventually.
Look at my little boy, all grown up. Falling in love with a girl. Mom.
Sorry. I guess I should have seen this coming. Given the way you used to act around her as a kid. Always looking out for her, protecting her from things that scared her. Sharing your food with her. Quite the gentleman you were.
Really? You had your suspicions that early on?
Motherly instinct, sweetheart.
We share a laugh. It was confusing at first. I didn't really know what these new feelings were. I'd start to notice little things about her that I didn't see before, like how pretty her eyes are or how nice she smells. We are talking to her about that. Like, dude, we were only joking, but you're actually gonna tell her? Yes, I did in fact totally sniff her. What is wrong with you? Or how cute she looks when she's trying to concentrate. I sigh dreamily. Yeah, I'll admit she's got me good. So what's holding you back? Well, I don't really know girls that well. How am I supposed to know if she likes me back?
Teenage laugh.
Well, look at it this way. When a girl likes you, she'll do a few things to try and signal that interest.
Does she maintain eye contact with you a lot? Laugh at your jokes? Offer to come with you to places? To invite you along? Compliment you?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, a lot of those things, yeah. But sometimes she acts a little bit off. As in, there are days where she doesn't really want to talk to me or anyone else. There's something that she's hiding, but she keeps her walls up and doesn't let me in. Like today, she was having a really bad nightmare. Stuff like she's really tired and she feels bad for feeling useless. But she never wants to talk about it and just brushes me off whenever I try to help her.
Well, there was a long gap in your history together. Perhaps something happened in her life, something that she isn't ready to share just yet. Patience is a virtue, sweetheart. You'll have to understand it from her perspective. Sometimes people just don't want to share. I know it must be frustrating. You want to help, but she's just not letting you.
Yeah.
As much as we would like to, sometimes we just can't force ourselves into someone's life like that. Besides, we have no idea what her reasoning is.
I don't joke. I don't look people in the eyes. I don't go out. These tips don't work. I'm... I mean, if you're not going out, then of course these tips won't work because you're not even meeting anyone in the first place. But yeah, I understand where you're coming from. I'm sure she'll tell you when she feels comfortable doing so. But doesn't that mean she doesn't trust me yet? Not necessarily. From what you've told me, she enjoys spending time with you. She certainly does trust you, just not to that level yet. It'll come in time. Anyway, unfortunately I have to go. A lot of work to be done still. It was lovely talking to you again, sweetheart, and keep me updated on the Sayori situation, especially if anything major pops up, okay? Sure thing, Mom. And thanks, your advice has been really helpful. You're very welcome, darling. Bye. With both my mother and Sayori gone, the room feels strangely empty. As I meander upstairs into my room, I flop onto my chair and mother's words echo through my mind. Maybe Sayori does like me too then, huh? Well, even if she does, what am I meant to do? Am I meant to make the first move? Ask her to a date? Or be my girlfriend? Although, if we've been hanging out, just us two, isn't that already technically a date? Sayori inside, depression, wee. I mean, we all know that's how she is. Also, yeah, technically, when does two people hanging out actually count as a date? Is it only if you officially say that it's a date? Is it like that? Like, you have two exact situations that are exactly the same with two people hanging out, and the only thing that determines whether or not it's a date is whether or not you actually say if it's a date. Is that it? Because I don't really I'm not really sure where the line is exactly. Because it feels like there are a lot of situations that, yes, that is a date, even if you don't necessarily say it so. But then again, a lot of these situations that count as dates, you can see with people just hanging out. I don't really get it. Two people going out while they love each other, or they tell it. Yeah, I think so. I think it's very hard to determine. But I think one of the main factors is you usually just announce it's a date, or you are already a couple. Like, if you're already together, then naturally it counts as a date, or you announce it beforehand. One of the two, right? In any other situation, it's just hanging out. Might not know that they're on dates. Mystery. I don't know. I think I'll just see how the next couple of weeks go and not push anything. Primarily because I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing either in any part of life. With a very sigh, I boot up my computer. There's no way I'll be able to get any homework done with all of this on my mind. Video games would be a nice way to relax. It's Halloween coming up, so let's pick a horror game. Don't remind me that I still need to play a horror game. Don't remind me that I still need to play Slender. I wonder if it's gonna be on a quick sale like Midweek Madness or anything on stream in the near future. I hope so, otherwise I might just buy it at full price, but with Steam you almost have to wait for sales considering how frequent they are. This one looks tempting. Third-person survival horror, police detective, nightmare simulation. This'll do fine. And there we go, another day done. Is this where Halloween would normally be? Did we just skip Halloween? Man, do I regret staying up late yesterday. I knew it would be a bad idea. I knew I'd struggle staying awake. In more ways than one, I really am my worst enemy. Wearily, I pull myself back to the land of the living, determined to make an effort to pay attention to Sakurai. Would anyone care to give me a brief recap of the events that took place at the start of the war? It's alright, don't all line up at once. I grin at him, marveling at how this humor is possibly the only thing keeping me awake. I hope he doesn't ask me, though. It's hard enough staying awake, let alone actively contribute. Luckily, Sayori spares me from that possibility, giving him a perfect answer. Well explained. Your teacher definitely deserves a pay raise. He chuckles to himself, carrying on. Well, I paid attention for a couple of minutes. That means I am entitled to a nap, right? You promised not to do that anymore, dude. You promised.
Hey, Code.
Oh, great, another flashback. Yeah? She looks shyly at the ground.
Do you think we'll be friends forever?
What do you mean?
Like, we're pretty young, and we've been friends for a while. When we move to junior high school, we'll still be friends, right? And even when we move to high school...
Hey, Sayori. Where's this coming from? Of course we will be. You're my best friend. I always enjoy hanging out with you.
You're my best friend too, Code. You've always been really nice to me. I just don't want to lose that.
Sayori, you're being silly.
I know, I know.
I have an idea. Something that means we'll always be friends.
Ooh, what?
We should get married. Yes, that. Do you have a person who you want to promise to always be friends with? Just marry them. Like, dude. Perfect logic, right? You know what? I'm gonna go to all of my friends and just say, hey, wanna be friends forever? Let's get married. Jesus. I mean, yeah, I guess it's kid logic and all that, but still.
Married? But isn't that what grown-ups do?
Yeah, but we're 8 now. That's a pretty big number. Anyway, what do you think?
If we're married, does that mean we'll be friends forever?
I think so, yeah. I mean, my parents are friends, and they've been married, so that must mean that's how it works, right?
Okay. How do we, do it then?
And she's already asking how to do it. Yeah, no, I'm misinterpreting. I'm just pushing in a lot of misguided narrative here. Alright. I think you have to get a grown-up to say it. Let me go find Mommy, hang on. Mommy.
Yes, darling, what's up?
Me and Sayori are getting married. Marriage, eh? My, that's really mature of you two. She smiles fondly at us both. Oh, you two are so cute together. But being married isn't easy, you know. You'll have to support each other. And more importantly, you'd have to do special things for your partner. Is it time for the talk about the birds and the bees? Another said janitor. If you don't study hard, the teacher not telling you that the janitor earns more money. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of sad if you think about it, right? Considering that. Then again, you have to also hand it to the teachers, because just the fact that they're teachers means that they also have a lot of holidays going on. Like, for most, yeah. Like, people always say that once you graduate from school, you won't have nearly as much free time anymore. While teachers share the same holidays as the students. I mean, sure, they have to prepare some stuff for class outside of class, of course. But still, they do have a lot more vacation than most other job fields, but naturally they get less pay. Yeah. People study hard. Luckily, I am not the type of person to study hard. I shouldn't say that like it's a good thing. But I think I've said it before, but I graduated without ever studying for most subjects. Like, there was one subject the subjects I actually did study for are the ones I had the worst grades in at all. And everything else just came to me naturally. So yeah, there we go. Not studying actually works out best for some people. Maybe because even while studying, I can't concentrate on stuff.
Like what?
Mom leans forward, a playful look in her eyes. Things like sharing your chocolate, Sayori. Sayori gasps. Do you think you could do that? And Code, you'll have to compromise too. What does that mean? Well, let's say that one day you wanted to play video games, but Sayori wanted to go to the park. What would you do? Easy, we'd go outside first, then come in and play. Come on, mommy, this marriage stuff is so easy. Like, you also don't really study that much. Which, hey, it just works for some people, alright? Some people just can't concentrate while on studying, but on the opposing side, other stuff just comes completely natural to them, and they don't even need to study. Which is why there's some stuff that's just, yeah. Sayori Shokitoro, mom. I mean, come on. But yeah, marriage stuff, easy. Mom chuckles to herself. Oh, if it were that easy. Well, you're clearly ready then. Yeah, that's what I thought.
We'll be best friends forever.
Even in 50 years?
Even in 50, 100. Wait, that's a big number, right?
Found that as a built-in emote. Well then. Interesting. Well, for a start, I'm jolted back to the present. Uh-oh. Did Sakurai do something again? Jeez. This isn't the kind of history I expected to learn about when I started this class. Man, where did it all go? We used to be inseparable. Best friends until the end, no matter what happened. I know we're talking and getting along again these days. But there were a good few years where we had no contact. And she said she loves being around me and she didn't want to lose what we had. Even though she probably felt estranged as we begin to drift. As Sakurai talks, an uncomfortable feeling of guilt bubbles up within me. But we're friends now, right? There's no sense lamenting on the past. Now everyone open your textbooks to the segment on trench warfare. I want you to write about the main features, what it was, how it worked, and how both sides tried to break out of it. Well, looks like I can't get away with just idly listening in the background anymore. After a while, the bell rings, the usual stampede occurs, with students eager to head to lunch. Once I make a game in Python, the game probably won't be published. Fair. I mean, if you want to keep it private, that's fair enough. But if you want someone to test it, you know, I'm here. I'm always here. As I'm making my way over to the courtyard, I spot Natsuki. Hi Natsuki, how are you doing?
Oh, it's you? I'm alright, I guess.
There's an awkward moment of silence. A given, I suppose, as this is one of my first times talking to Natsuki one-on-one. How to lock it so people can't edit? Fair point, I guess, fair point. That's all about the encryption again, and yeah. Imagine someone just taking it, editing it a little bit, and then re-uploading it saying it was their work. Wouldn't that be nice of people to do? Actually, since you're talking about making a game, you know what? How about a small deal? Once this stream is over, I'll give you a quick peek at some of the assets that I've made for that one Pokemon demo that I haven't developed in quite a while. Just a little peek at some other stuff. I mean, you've already seen 3 sprites that I made. But can't hurt to check out a couple of other things. There's an awkward moment of silence. A given, I suppose, as this is one of my first times talking to Natsuki one-on-one. Didn't see. I mean, I should be able to bring it up, but I can also show it at the end, so no worries. I won't be playing for too much longer anyway, considering that we're getting close to the 3-hour mark. Also, we're probably gonna have a choice to hang out with Natsuki now, like we did with Yuri. Looking forward to the Halloween party? Should be fun, I guess. By the way, I don't suppose you've seen Sayori, have you?
Don't you guys walk to school together?
Yeah, but she wasn't there this morning and wouldn't reply to my texts. I ended up walking alone.
Ha! Weird. Nah, I haven't seen her. I'll tell you if I see her.
Thanks, I'm on my way to have lunch. If You wanna join? No, I'm good. I've already eaten anyway. Oh, okay. See you around then. She dismissively waves and turns away. I wonder if she's like this with everyone else she meets. I don't have much time to ponder the question, as I once again spot Yuri on my way to the courtyard. With Sayori absent, I don't really feel like sitting alone. Yuri seemed happy to talk last time, and I can't imagine today would be any different. Hey Yuri. Once again my greeting startles her. It's slightly comical, although I do feel a bit bad for making her jump.
Code. Sorry, I didn't expect you again.
I'll stop being a ninja, I promise. She laughs softly, closing her book and pulling out a box of food. Mind if we sit outside again? She nods and stands up. By the way, have you seen Sayori around? You have an idea for a game, but there's another person, so you won't tell? Oh, so it's a bit of a secret, huh? Well, telling me about this on stream wouldn't make it much of a secret anyway, because people could just watch the archive. Unless, of course, you told me not to say it out loud, in which case I could read it and then... Then again, you can also see the Twitch chat on the Twitch archive, so... Yeah. By the way, have you seen Sayori around?
Sayori, did she not walk with you?
Nope, didn't meet me in the morning, didn't answer my calls. Just wondering if you'd seen her around or anything.
I can't say I have, apologies.
No worries, I didn't expect you to have. I don't think she came to school today. The temporary lull in conversation feels a little awkward. Yuri isn't the greatest with leading a conversation or diverting the topic. She's fiddling with her hair, clearly thinking hard for something to say. Anyway! You know, I'm curious. What are your thoughts on Halloween? You know, given you like horror so much.
Well, are you sure you want to know?
1 second.
I'd hate to bore you.
Nah, not at all. I asked you specifically after all. It wouldn't bore me in the slightest.
Well, to be truthful, most people typically feel frightened by all the monsters and horror villains that come out to play. Halloween, ironically enough, makes me feel safer.
Why is that?
I feel like I belong, if that makes sense. That's not weird, is it?
Yuri, seriously, you don't have to worry about it. I'm not going to make fun of you or anything, I promise. What do you mean by belong?
Well, it's a day where most people get into the spirit of horror. If only for one day, it's a day where the macabre becomes the norm. I get a sense of belonging from it, because Halloween is typically comprised of horror stories, movies, etc. Although I'm not much a fan of the commercialism. It detracts a little from Halloween's actual meaning.
Oh, you mean all the cheesy bad spider skeletons they hang up in stores?
Precisely.
Yeah, that's understandable. I'll admit I'm not huge on horror, but Halloween's always been fun. Sayori and I used to prank each other, scare each other with stories, that sort of thing. Make a Python game in the next year probably because yes. Because yes, that's good reasoning. I like it. Obviously we haven't done that in a good few years. Another pang of guilt.
Spending such a day with someone else, I imagine that must be wonderful to share.
It's definitely something. We carved pumpkins together over the weekend. We'll be bringing them to the club actually, so you can check them out.
I look forward to it. Back to your initial question though, as frightening as horror villains can be, I would be hard-pressed to deny that their personalities or motives are interesting. Take Frankenstein's monster for instance. The very fact that it isn't given a name and only referred to as the monster makes you think it would behave like a mindless beast. Yet once it's created, it is unaware of its own identity and even becomes frightened. It's even able to forge relationships with a family of peasants and even saves a human girl. Yet it is continually misunderstood, even being shot for its efforts. Even after being mistreated by its creator, it still mourns the creator's death. Hardly the behavior of and emotion you would expect of a typical monster on display, don't you think?
I can always count on Yuri for a thought-provoking discussion, that's for sure. Could put it on Steam, then send you a copy, and then could say that you hacked the Steam. Yes, hacker. I am the hacker man. Yeah, but share, yeah. When you put it like that, I can definitely see what you mean. I guess just by labeling something as a monster, people automatically assume it'll behave like one, right? So in giving it a personality and, well, human emotions, it does make you question whether the monster is really, well, a monster.
Definitely, it's honestly fascinating.
The rest of lunch break passes by in a blur. Before I know it, the bell has rung and it's time to go. Well, that's another day over. Sayori's been on my mind all day, no matter how much I try and distract myself. She's probably just ill, given the situation, given the stuff she eats. I guess it was bound to happen sooner or later. Yurisaur goes extinct. Oh, come on, let her talk, man. Still can't hurt to check for myself. Hey Sayori, it's me. I was just wondering if you were okay, you know, because you didn't come to school today. There's a muffled shuffling as I hear footsteps slowly walk towards the door.
You didn't have to. I just wasn't feeling well, that's all. I've been trying to sleep it off, so that's why I missed your calls. Sorry.
No worries. Hey, what do you have? A sore throat? Fever?
I just got a really bad headache. And I'm feeling really dizzy.
I can get some stuff from the pharmacy if you'd like. Should make you feel better.
No, it's okay. I think I'll be fine. Don't you worry about me.
As she's talking, I can't help but notice what a mess the room is. I know Sayori has never been on the neat side, but this looks worse than usual. Oh, you're taking your medicine for your headache already?
Huh?
She frantically follows where I'm pointing to and swiftly hides the medicine packets in her pocket.
Ah, those. Yeah, see? You don't have to get medicine for me after all.
Is it antidepressants, actually? Instead of headache medicine? Alright then. Did you know that it's very easy to make mods for Doki Doki, but the hard part is everything else other than coding? As in getting in new sprites and stuff? You mean like that? And actual writing, probably? Because, well, you gotta be creative for that. Yeah, the story. Yeah, I get that. Story, music, sprites. That's definitely not easy. Right.
Anyway, I'm sorry if I'm not in the mood to, I'm sorry I'm not in the mood to talk. This headache is a real meanie. If you don't mind, I'm gonna try to get some more sleep. See ya.
Sayori, wait.
What is it, Code? Look, I know you're concerned about me, and it's really sweet. But for once, can you just stop it? I'm okay, I'm just really tired and not feeling not feeling myself.
I stare at her, hurt.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to snap at you, I'm just really not in a good mood right now.
It's okay, I guess it's on me for worrying too much. Well, I hope you feel better soon, Sayori. The soft click of the door is my only response. There's something going on here that I'm not realizing. The nightmares, the days where she's not herself, the refusal to accept my help. But then the next day she's totally fine? Back to her cheery self? Am I just overreacting? Maybe I do just worry about her too much. Thinking about it, if the roles were reversed, would I find her overbearing? Although I don't have anything to hide, well, as Mom said, I have to give it time. So I guess all I have to do is wait. Hopefully it'll be that simple. For now, I'll just play along with her and try to dial back my concern. As though that'll be it. What can make your eyes... Here is eyes and... Act 2. Can back hurt because of loss of iron? Well, I guess you learn something new every day. Also, as I said... Now hang on a second. Let me save this real quick. Because I said that... boop. I think this is a good spot to end this, and instead... give you a little bit of a sneak peek at the sprites I have and stuff like that. Now again, it's nothing major, and I'm not even sure if I'm gonna keep working on that. Let me see. Where would that be? In here, there's the files. Let's go up to, where is it? A little bit further. Should be around here. There. We got some. Okay. Now let me just open with, let's open it with this. Should work, right? And I can switch it over, right? Okay. Now this should work. Hang on, give me a second to just set it up. Actually, hang on, let me see if this works. Probably won't work, but... yeah, no, of course that doesn't work. Well then, this will take a quick second. There, a window capture. Whoops. Hang on a second. Let me quickly... there you go. Give me a second to just figure this out. It'll only take a moment. Let's see. If I move it up, is it visible already? Like there? Doesn't look like it's visible right now, which is annoying. Just give me a quick second. Why is it so annoying to do this stuff? I should have at the very least left the game running in the background, just so we had would have some BGM. All the way down here. That was too far. This one. Whoop, 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 there it is. Found some stuff that actually works. These are pretty much the regional variants that I made that you could see up bouncing up and down on the little screen. So there's a fire type Snivy for you. Look at that. Ain't that just horrible sprite work? I did my best, okay? Regional variants are one thing, but making entirely new sprites is something I probably won't be able to do for a while. Now let's see, I did have some others, so close that for a moment. And where was right? First of all, let's show off all these regional starter sprites that are currently a thing. Wait, wrong thing. Then we have this one. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that horrible sprite work that I did. Actually, I don't think it looks too bad, right? You can definitely tell that I'm not the best at this stuff. But it is what it is. And the other one you have actually seen before is, of course, or at least some of you have seen before, the grass type Oshawott. Absolutely ugly, but what can you do? Wait, your connection only let you... Oh, you only saw the fire type Snivy, or what was it? So did your connection kind of not let you see the video? I'm sorry in that case, I really am. Wasn't my intention that you didn't get to see that. So yeah, in that case you missed wait. Just this one. Boop. There we go, the water type. And those are the base evolutions. Stealing time. I don't even have the entire evolutionary lines done. Like, I have the base form, the mid evolution, and like 1 out of the 3 of the end evolutions, and that's it. So there's definitely a lot of work for me to still do in the future. That is, if I do decide to get to work on it again. So there we go. You can definitely tell that I just kind of switched their typings around a bit. Actually, I also have the shiny sprites, of course. Naturally. Might as well... actually, hang on. I'm gonna ask you. Of the 3 starters, which one do you want to see an evolution of? Like the next stage of the evolution line. Is there anyone you want to see the evolution of? And I'll show off one more thing. Good night. Oh, you're leaving? Also, a lot of emotes going on here. The red one's evolution, right? Hang on a second. This should be it. Look at this. Wow, aren't I good with making fire spark? It's horrible, I know. Just all these spare pixels going on there just to give the fire a little bit more of an effect. As I said, I'm no pro at this. I'm trying though, okay? I'm trying. Maybe I overdid it with the sparks a bit, looking back on it now. They're definitely not a bad thing, but I definitely should have added in fewer ones of those. A little bit too many. Other than that, I think this one is... So, there's that. Might as well, you know what? Since you wanted to see that, that's actually the one evolutionary line I have the entire line of. So, you know what? I'm gonna give you the final evolution of that. Let's see how that looks. I haven't looked at these in quite a while, so... Yeah, okay, that's pretty subpar, I have to admit. Not the best. Honestly, I haven't looked at these in quite a while. It's been forever since I've created these. Then again, I have recently looked at the base forms again just to get that little GIF for the notifications on stream going. So that's that. Wow. Woo. Actually, you know what? Let's look at the shiny variant of that. Where do I have it? Maybe that looks a little bit better. Here I am, just needlessly showing off my stuff. Blue flames. Ain't that nice? But that's so classic, right? If you have a fire-type Pokemon, the shiny variant naturally has to have be blue. Because blue flames are just classic. That's what you go for. It looks a little bit like a water and ice typing, if you look at it like that. Definitely, right? It's not just me. It definitely looks like it's water ice type or something. Like that fire actually is some sort of ice crystal growing there. You could totally see it, right? It's not just me. I'm looking at that right now and thinking like, yep, this could have been on a water ice type. Ha. You know what? While you're looking at that, I am gonna take a quick look to see if I have anything special in here now. That would be interesting. Any new sprites? Oh, right. I have the whole entourage from PokeStar Studios and all the Missing No forms. Remember PokeStar Studios and the Missing No forms and all that stuff? I have all of those in here as well. Any specific one you would like to see? After all, I have taken the liberty to create shiny variations and back sprites for all of them because they didn't have any before. They did exist, but they didn't have any other sprites other than, the regular front sprite. And I had to make shiny variants and back sprites and all of it for them so they could actually work. Like, okay, some of them aren't even done yet, I just noticed. Missing No. Okay, which Missing No should we go for? Let's go... I mean, standard Missing No is pretty basic. Should we go for the Ghost type Missing No? I have it in here as well. Actually, you know what? Sure, if I open this up. So first of all, this is standard Missing No that everyone knows. Everyone knows this, right? This is it. You know this. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna... Hang on, give me the... Missing No, so I'm not gonna show this too much. I'm actually gonna go for the shiny sprite. So sorry if you didn't even see this sprite, but... everyone knows Missing No anyway. There we go, there's a shiny Missing No. It's slightly more pinkish rather than purple. I know, big coloration change. Who goes out of their way to create shiny variants for Missing No? Also, I should probably change the stream topic. Then again, we're already at the end anyway, so it's not like it really matters, right? So, anyway, this is where I'm gonna end it now. You've witnessed some of the horrible sprite work I did, considering Missing No shiny form and regional variants for the Gen 5 starters. I might actually get back to it and create some more stuff in the future. Maybe actually resume development of that little project at some point. I'm not sure though. Anyway, as I've said, this is pretty much where I'm gonna end this stream. And let me just close up here, because we do need to see that anymore. Go away and go away. There we go. And that doesn't need to be captured anymore. Let's move it down actually. Alright. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, as well as that little peek at what I've been up to previously. But yeah, this is pretty much where it goes. Who knows, maybe I'm gonna jump into that demo at some point just to re-experience what I've actually done. So yeah, thank you guys very much for watching, and I hope to see you again on the next stream. So until then, bye!